wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Mark Scores, The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Good morning, all you lovelies. It's great to have you with us on this beautiful Thursday in St. Louis. Welcome into the show. 314-436-7900. It is Amy, it is Chris, and it is us with you until 12. Then the Gas House Gang, it's Bernie and me. We'll talk a little Cardinals baseball and more there. We'd love for you to participate in our fun today at 314-436-7900. You may also leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app. That app is where you go to listen to us live and listen to the podcasts and Cardinals baseball. You can watch the show if you want to do that. You can see Amy in her blazer. You could see me in my hat. And all you have to do is follow us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
Governor Kehoe here in Missouri to sign several public safety bills today that includes tougher laws against drunk driving.
And the war in Iran is back on. I believe this is 5 months now that it's been going on, and the ceasefire is over, according to the president. We will talk to CBS Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett at 10:30.
And there you go, Cardinals. They ended the losing streak yesterday, the 7-game losing streak against the Brewers. And they will play the final game of that series tonight. We've got the pregame at 5:50 and a 6:45 first pitch right here on KMOX. So I was looking through all of the new bills that will be signed today to enhance public safety in the state of Missouri. And I see one very glaring omission. I was really hoping that the governor was going to sign a law that anybody who blocks the intersection when the green light is not long enough for them to get through it because there's too much traffic, and then it turns red, and then they get stuck in the intersection.
So they just scoot ahead because they're like, I'm not going to miss
I see
my
the green.
turn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the light turns red, and then it's time for the cross traffic to go, but they can't because you're stuck in the intersection. I do not see a law where a helicopter with a giant magnet will come by and pick up your car and drop you in the river. I was hoping that would be one of these public safety laws signed by the governor, so I would say he gets an F.
Was that co-sponsored with you and Bill Eigel? That bill?
I think it was just me and no other sponsors. No takers either.
I actually had the worst experience with the blocking the intersection on a very short green light, red light situation in Webster Groves. So much so that people were turning around, like pulling out of the lane and pulling U-turns in the middle of traffic. And then when the fourth or fifth time that the light went through in the cycle, one car that wouldn't go because it didn't want to go through a crowded intersection, the cars behind it pulled out into oncoming traffic, laid on their horn, and just weaved through the cars that had stopped in the middle of the intersection because we sat there for 20 minutes. I wanted to call 911.
Where's my helicopter?
I was going to call 911 and say, what do we do?
Get me my helicopter.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I get it because in that moment, I thought, what do I do? Do I call 911 because these people are blocking the intersection? And I thought there was going to be fisticuffs. Well, that law, sponsored by Chris Raunchy, maybe a hiccup because I think if you're not in the legislature, I don't know if you can sponsor a bill.
Oh, I think I just suggested it.
Okay.
And then
That
nobody took me up on it.
It's in the process.
But you know what? Call me.
Yeah. And so we're thinking about it. But Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe is set to sign a bunch of these public safety initiatives into law today. And I actually am a fan of two of the three, and that I'm going to bring up. And the third one I just might have an issue with like privacy, but I kind of agree with it. Okay, so the first one is tougher drunk driving laws. So there is part of the legislation would require a minimum 10-year prison sentence if you're drunk driving and you cause the death of more than one person. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Throw the book at them. You are drunk driving and you kill more than one person, no, you should absolutely not be able to get out of jail in under 10 years, especially now when it has never been easier not to drive drunk. There's no excuse.
Yeah, that really is the point. If you are out having a good time imbibing, there are so many ways. And yeah, it can be expensive, but it is way more expensive and costly in various ways to kill somebody, to get into an accident and kill somebody, than if you were to just get an Uber. Even if your Uber was like $90, sorry, do it, because you can't afford, and there are families out there that don't want you to kill their loved ones. So you're right. It is the easiest. It's not like, remember when you used to have to call a cab and it would take like 45 minutes and maybe they would show up? It was like 20 years ago. We live in an environment where it's so easy to get home safely.
And if you know you're going to be drinking, a lot of my friends will just Uber there. So grabbing your car keys is not even an option because you took an Uber to the event, to the restaurant, to the bar. So that, and again, this is one of 20 pieces of legislation that Kehoe has been sent today and will sign. Another, House Bill 1740. This will go into effect next month, August 28th. And Ranj, we've talked about this. This would make convicted drunk drivers financially responsible for the kids if they kill those kids' parents drunk driving. So if you're drunk driving and you kill the parents of a kid and now those kids don't have parents, you, the convicted drunk driver, have to be financially responsible for those kids. I think that is really, really good law. It's the Bentley and Masons law. It was named after two children whose parents were killed in a 2021 car crash. It was a drunk driver. And that law is actually, that provision is law in 6 other states. So good on Missouri on being one of the first states in the country to adopt this law.
Yep. Also have absolutely no problem with that one. Because look, if you are making a decision, and granted, you are probably impaired and not making good decisions, so you have to pre-plan. If you're going to go out, if you're going to have some nightlife, you've got to find a way to make sure you get home safely and don't hurt anybody else. And as we said a minute ago, it is so easy to do that.
Yep. If you are wondering about what happens if you kill one person, because the 10-year minimum before you're up for parole or probation is if you kill more than one person. If a person is convicted of killing one person while drunk driving with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 or higher, you are required to serve a minimum of 5 years before parole or probation. So that is a big deal. And there is also, on the other end of things, Ranj, Mike Kehoe is set to sign Senate Bill 1421. This includes, quote, clean slate legislation. What is clean slate legislation? It automatically expunges certain misdemeanors after 1 year and non-violent felonies after 3 years. This bill or proposal was sponsored by Senator Brian Williams of University City. And he said the program...
County executive candidate?
Yep. He said the program could help nonviolent offenders find a stable employment and housing.
Yeah, and I agree with that one, too. I mean, none of these bills I have any issue with. I don't think that if you commit a nonviolent crime that doesn't hurt somebody in a significant way. Like, I mean, if you have committed some sort of financial crime and you have taken another person's life savings, that's different. That's a nonviolent crime, but it is pretty serious. But if you've done something like have drugs on you or, little property damage or you've stolen something, I don't think that should prevent you from being able to get a house 5-6 years from now or to get certain jobs. I don't think it should prevent you from that. So that's a pretty good bill. I am completely on board with that one, too.
And what's interesting is that this is an automated process that will be run by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. It would apply to people convicted of felony or misdemeanor drug possession, unlawful use of drug paraphernalia, and some crimes such as forgery, property damage, and stealing. Obviously, depends on the extent of the crime. Drug trafficking convictions would not be eligible for expungement. Okay, so I have no problem with any of these laws.
Yeah.
I want to know, okay. I'm for this next one, but I want to know the privacy laws.
Okay, so this is the one that Matt Pajeski is pretty upset about, I think.
Gosh, don't say
I don't know what it is.
This is the one I think that he is really upset about. And this is House Bill 1839. Is that what you're talking about?
It is.
So that's going to require that adults verify that they are adults when they go to porn sites.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
What I gotta get my driver's license now?
How do I work with these people? Steve!
First of all,
Steve, help me.
Steve's like, I know it is a problem.
Dang it. I got to get my driver's license. So first of all,
it's 9:15 in the morning.
I thought that we had already outlawed. Didn't we already outlaw in Missouri porn sites? Like I thought you couldn't access them anymore.
No, that's not true.
I thought it was
not?
Pornhub. I don't know if it's all of them.
Well, I mean isn't that like the main one?
What is there? Porn Center?
I don't know.
Porn Mart? I don't know.
Would you
Porn
call
R
it
Us?
Porn Mart?
You know what I think would be a great segment is just to ask Amy what she thinks all of the porn site names are.
I only know one, Pornhub, and then I guess the other ones are similar, like Porn Mart,
No.
Porn Mart?
Porn House,
Is there a porn? Hey, Frank, is there a porn mart?
Bob's Big Barn of Porn.
Let me look it up on the work
Porn
computer
barn.
real quick.
Oh, Frank's incredulous. Like, what are you asking me for?
I have
Yeah,
no
I
idea.
don't-
Yeah, okay.
Not a shock, not a. I think porn is detrimental to society as a whole, but whatever. But yeah, they will require.
It's because you're a square.
So this is websites verifying that users are adults. That is actually I'm okay with. I actually misread it. I thought so in England when they're having these sites where you verify how old you are as a kid, and they were saying, do you really want all of these companies and the government to scan your kids' faces? And now they're tracking your kids. But this is not scanning to see if you're a kid. This is scanning to see if you're an adult, which is a
Yes.
little bit different.
It
Yeah.
is. But there is a privacy issue there,
There
I
is.
think.
There is.
I think if you're an adult that just likes to partake in a little, hey, you're at home and you're bored, nothing else to do.
Learn a
you probably don't
language.
wanna-
Learn Italian. Learn French.
you really have to be in the mood to learn a language. You just can't.
I'm
What
going
am I
to
gonna
create
do?
a site that's alternative to Pornhub.
Okay, what would that look like?
First, learn a language.
Okay,
Read a book.
what a
Learn
square.
how to cook a new dish.
Absolute square.
I will say this. So, identifying information of people visiting sites, this is according to the law, cannot be retained by the sites or third-party age verification companies, which are required to keep the information secure. Do we really trust these companies? I don't think so. But is this, one of the trade-offs? Life is a trade-off. Everything's a trade-off. Do you kind of risk some of the privacy in order to limit access to these sites to try to keep young people from gaining access to these sites? I think so. The Free Speech Coalition, which represents online porn companies, they said that it's unlikely to change the landscape for viewing porn in Missouri because a lot of porn sites already have existing regulations.
Tell us what you think of the new laws being signed by the governor today, a ceremony happening on this Thursday. Let us know, 314-436-7900. I got a problem with my downstate Illinois people, and I'm going to tell you about it when we come back. I mean, I love them, but you got to stop. It's a Chris and Amy show on KMOX.
Your health story is shaped by more than genetics. Everyday choices like nutrition, physical activity, sleep, tobacco use, and routine screenings all play a role in your future health. Sightman Cancer Center's Your Disease Risk helps you understand how family history and lifestyle work together, offering personalized insights to support healthier decisions. Knowing your risks today can help protect your tomorrow. Visit sightman.washU.edu/YDR.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Lemonade! Fresh squeezed lemonade! Lemonade? Oh, nuts.
Is your business struggling to be seen? Not reaching the right customers?
Yeah.
Odyssey's here to help. Your one-stop shop for digital marketing.
Wait, really?
With targeted digital media, plus SEO, SEM, social, OTT, and more, we help your business reach the right audience and drive results.
Whoa, hey, one at a time.
Stop missing out on valuable customers. Visit digitallocalads.com to learn more about our local advertising solutions. That's digitallocalads.com.
Okay, people, line starts here.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's Supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
You work hard, follow the rules, and get absolutely slammed by taxes. Your paycheck taxed, your property taxed, everything you buy taxed. Missouri's tax system isn't broken, it's rigged against you. The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The financial industry is getting rich on baby boomers. Don't be their next victim. Find out the truth of what's really going on in the retirement industry. Join Greg Ayler Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service, classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Peoria's finest. Listen, I love my Illinois people. I grew up in Illinois. I spent my entire life living in the state of Illinois, whether it be in Madison County or McLean County or McLean.
What's McLean?
That's where Bloomington Normal is.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where my cousin Will from Bloomington lives.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if he's on board with this nonsense I'm about to tell you about. So there's that. And then,
I'll
of course,
ask him.
I lived in Cook County for several years, too. There has been, historically, going back decades, this animosity between southern central Illinois and Cook County. They feel like they are being left behind and forgotten.
Because Cook County is Chicago.
Cook County is Chicago.
That's basically Chicago.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, the rural areas always get mad at the city.
And I would argue that around the country, the rural areas are overrepresented in Congress. So I don't want to have that fight, but we can someday if you want to. But I would say that this thing that's been going back decades, I don't know if you've heard of a thing, and I believe they pronounced it the Republic of Forgotten-tonia or something like that.
Forgotten-tonia?
Yes, yeah, that.
No, I've never heard of it.
There's been this push for years to secede from Chicago because the downstaters don't like all the attention Chicago gets.
You mean other parts of Cook County want to secede?
No, like the downstate.
Oh.
Do you know what downstate means?
Yeah, but how do they secede from Chicago if they're not in the same county?
They want to separate from Cook County. They want to, and there are various forms of this. There are a couple of different groups that are interested in removing themselves from Cook County and Chicago. 33 counties around the state have voted on referendums since 2020 to, you could call it secede, separate, whatever you want from Cook.
You could have North Illinois and Southern Illinois, like North and South Dakota.
There are various different proposals. There are some proposals where western counties in Illinois would be assumed into Iowa, where, yeah, it's as funny as you think. There are eastern counties that would be assumed into Indiana.
Would we get the Southern Illinois counties?
I don't know. But Madison County so far, my county, as a county, has not voted on an entire referendum, though there are townships throughout Madison that have done it. Well, 7 more states are going to add, at least 7 more states are going to add to the November ballot more of these referendums. And they're non-binding, so it's not like if the people vote for it, that county is now no longer part of Illinois.
It's not Brexit.
It's not Brexit. I think it's more of a statement they are trying to make. And look, I understand feeling like you are left behind in some ways. I understand you don't like paying taxes. Nobody likes paying taxes. I understand you feel like your tax burden is high. And for some people, it is higher than it should be. But I am telling you, and there are some more aggressive proposals, like for all 101 counties, aside from Cook becoming its own state. So Cook would just be its own state. And then the other 101 counties, because there are 102 in Illinois, would become a different state. I get it. I get it. You feel like the little brother or whatever, but you got to knock it off. It's so stupid. It is so stupid. The city of Chicago and Cook County has 40% of the population of the entire state. It is the economic driver of the entire state. And almost every county, with the exception of Cook, and Monroe is one of these counties too, that put a little bit more into the state in terms of tax revenue than they get back. But Chicago is everything. Cook County is everything in the state of Illinois. So you got to knock this off. And you can have your little protest and have your stupid little referendums and vote for them and say, yeah, we'll show those people up north.
Yeah.
But I am telling you, if you want to become Mississippi, go right ahead, because that's all this would turn into.
Well, I think the economic driver, if all of these counties seceded from Cook County, I think in Southern Illinois, the economic driver would have to be Ski Soda, probably. They would have to hold up the county.
I don't know. There's probably some minerals in Southern Illinois that they've mined.
Could we absorb or annex Southern Illinois? Because that would be kind of fun. You know, Missouri.
Do you want their problems?
Well, I thought they were our people.
I don't think.
You said the 618 is our people. Suddenly they're
we should be separate people.
Really?
Yeah, we should be separate people.
What if
There's a river. You can't have the Mississippi running down the middle of the state.
We have the Missouri.
Yeah, but the Mississippi is different. The Mississippi is a state divider.
Ron, what if I told you that if we annexed Southern Illinois in this secession process, that Missouri drivers would have to take driver's ed?
Wait a minute. No. Why would they have to take driver's ed? Because they don't do it in Missouri.
I know. Well, because it's like saying we'll adopt some of your culture.
Okay. So the entire state then has to. So here comes Madison County. Here comes Monroe County.
And I heard Madison County has a great farmer's market.
Well,
I might be on board with this.
With Monroe and Madison becoming part and Macoupin.
Missouri. Oh, love Macoupin. I hear about them on the
Tornadoes.
severe storms all the time.
Yeah, Macoupin is one of the counties, by the way. Yeah.
It makes you wonder what's going on in Macoupin. You know what I mean?
I don't know. So if you live in Coles, Macoupin, Henderson County, knock it off. Grow up.
I don't know. I think we
Grow
do
up.
a little exchange. Like we get you guys and you guys give us driver's ed. Missouri's bigger.
Just be thankful you live in Illinois. I mean, you can complain about your taxes all you want. I mean, nobody likes paying taxes. But stop it. Stop it. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk to a James Beard award-winning chef, owner of Sydney Street Cafe and Peacemaker, and he's got a new project coming to St. Louis. Kevin Nashin will be in studio when we come back on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Before YouTube DIY videos, before skip ad, before don't forget to like and subscribe, there was KMOX. And this Saturday, we're still at your service. At 8, the Garden Hotline with Michelle Reeser-West, sponsored by Chesterfield Valley Nursery. At 11, the Home Improvement Show with Rich Orris, sponsored by Mosby Building Arts. So, skip the videos and get it done right. KMOX is at your service, starting Saturday at 8.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 35 years, I've seen it all. Car crashes, work injuries, defective products, medical mistakes, lives flipped upside down in an instant. But I've also seen something else, the power of fighting back, the power of winning. Over $30 billion recovered and counting. Size matters, reputation matters, results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
82 degrees, some sun today, some heavy thunderstorms from late morning on, and those could bring flooding downpours. A high today of 91. Tonight, cloudy, humid, maybe more thunderstorms, a low of 73.
Brought to you by Duke's Real Mayo.
Duke's Country Song. It's a song about good mayo, Duke's Mayo. It'll make any dish sing. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores.
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Let's take a break.
Good idea.
Hey, Tom, what are you doing on that Amendment 4?
You know we fought for our freedom and rights. I'm not giving them away without a fight.
Ford takes them?
That's exactly what Ford does. For over 100 years, Missouri voters have used our constitutional power to act when the politicians refused. I'll be darned if I'm voting to pass on less freedom and power to my kids.
And doesn't Ford kill majority rule?
Yep, creates minority rule, where just 5% of statewide voters in one district can block any citizen-led reform, making it nearly impossible to pass citizen-led ballot measures.
That's just dumb.
And when the politicians refuse to act, we've used citizen-led ballot measures to pass some big stuff, like lobbyist reforms, term limits for career politicians, and outlawing tax hikes without voter approval.
I'm not surrendering my power and rights to a bunch of politicians and lobbyists. I've no on Amendment 4.
Hard no on 4.
Pay 4 buttons or inch per governance.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Well, a new concept is coming to Ballpark Village. It is called the Clydesdale, a Clark Avenue tavern, and it is going to be an upscale dining experience right here at Ballpark Village, and it's opening inside that Budweiser brew house, which we have been to a number of times, and I'm sure if you have been to a ball game, you've probably stopped in there as well. Joining us now on the Quiver River Electric guest line is James Beard award-winning chef, also owner of Sydney Street Cafe and Peacemaker. Kevin Nashin is with us on KMOX. Kevin, it's good to talk to you. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
So I want you to know I went to Sydney Street. I've been to Peacemaker, as I know a lot of people have.
I appreciate it.
Both fantastic. And we're looking forward to the new place, the Clydesdale. So how did this come about, and what is the concept behind it?
Basically, we talked about 5-6 months ago with the Live organization and just really thought that this could be something that could be really interesting and maybe a missing piece for Ballpark Village. And we kind of wanted to just turn that beautiful space into more of a tavern-like atmosphere, not losing the fact that we are at the ballpark, but kind of having, extra options so that you could, really want to go there for, business meeting, special occasion, whatever. We have some amazing spaces that, you can hold, weddings and rehearsal dinners and all that. So it's kind of lends itself to a lot, and really excited to be teamed up with them. Really excited about the team that we're making. Matt Duffin, he's the chef of the restaurant, and he's a Cardwell alum. It's just incredibly talented, and super excited to be teamed up with him. Joe Shirley's the executive chef of their whole corporation. I've worked extensively with him the last 5 months, and it's just really it's been a really awesome experience, and we're really excited about August and looking forward to it.
When you are already running restaurants like Sydney Street Cafe and pouring all of your creative talent and all of your time into restaurants like Sydney Street, like Peacemaker, like La Tertulia, do you feel excited when a proposition like this comes up, or do you have to step back at first and feel overwhelmed because the restaurant industry is such a tough industry to be in, and you're already working more hours than there are in the week?
At the end of the day, it comes down to what you love to do. I don't care what business you're in. At the end of the day, we are all service oriented. We want to make people happy. I tend to do it on the food side. Gratefully, there are opportunities that come up. Sometimes you don't take them. Sometimes you do. I thought this was an incredible opportunity. I couldn't pass up, and, really excited about it. And it's just, are you nervous? Yes. Are the people going to come? Are you going to do a good job? There's so many questions to be had. But at the end of the day, the one true thing is that you'll never know unless you take the chance. So this is a really cool opportunity. And I think that it's like I said, it's a missing piece for the downtown Ballpark Village.
Kevin Nashin, James Beard award-winning chef, is with us on KMOX and the Clydesdale, which is coming again to Ballpark Village. You talked about the chef who will be running it. Can you give us more detail on what the menu is going to look like? More specifics, or is this something that's still in the works?
No, we are definitely working on it. So it's definitely tavern-like, right? You're going to have definitely stuff on there like steak frites. You're going to have stuff, like for our fish option, we're going to do like a grilled trout with like chimichurri and crispy potatoes and cotija. So it's some non-traditional tavern-like offerings. You'll have like some delicious, wings and some house-made sausages that, Matt Duff, and he's our chef. He's got this really incredible background with Cardwell's, with Bolyard's meat. So not only is like the charcuterie aspect and the breaking down of animals, but he's really, really talented and has a really good depth of knowledge and flavor profile. So, we've got stuff like that. We've of course have burgers. We have our Clyde's burger, which is basically a 8-ounce Wagyu blend that's like, a thicker burger. And then we have like basically the Village Smash, which is like your quintessential smash burger of the kind of those same trimmings. You'll find yourself some obviously seafood oriented stuff on there from, a tower, some oysters, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, we wanted to basically make approachable food. We have some pastas on there, the rigatoni with the Calabrian chilies and the vodka sauce. We have like an Italian beef, for your lighter fare, like a little gem Caesar, and that kind of thing.
You spoke with George Mahey as well of St. Louis Magazine, and he notes that you said you didn't want to spark like burger wars, which is why you created your two distinct options with the Clyde's burger and the Village burger, and then branched out to, like you said, anchoring a lot of the menu in seafood to complement and add to what's already at Ballpark Village. Correct.
We felt like we have amazing neighbors. Katie's does such an amazing job with the pasta, and Salt Smoke does an amazing job with the barbecue. So we definitely, are grateful that we have like awesome neighbors and delicious, parts to it. So it's like, how can we offer something different to bring? And this is where we've come up with.
So at Ballpark Village, like you mentioned, Katie's is there. That's a highly successful place.
Absolutely.
The building itself is, there's a lot of good stuff and, has been for a long time, bars and whatnot. And it's a great place to watch, as we've seen the World Cup, but thousands of people have been showing up for that. What made you want to be right in the heart of downtown? Because we're at a time, it seems like, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it does seem like there's a lot leaving, and we're not celebrating enough what is coming into downtown. So what made you want to be there?
Well, as you guys know, guess what? 24 years this year for Sydney Street Cafe. I'm downtown. Peacemaker, 11 years. I'm downtown. Like, I have been here my whole culinary life. I'm all about St. Louis. Yes, I've branched out. I'm in the Kirkwood. I'm in the airport. I've gone to Tulsa and stuff. The true roots are St. Louis. The true roots are downtown. And, we need more people taking a chance on it. And the beautiful thing is you partner up with people that want to take a great chance. Look at our amazing soccer field. What an amazing, feather in our cap, so to speak, for that. So at the end of the day, it was an easy conclusion. And, I just hope that, it's embraced by the town.
You have studied and trained and worked at some of the most celebrated restaurants in the world, from New York City to New Orleans to Spain. And I often talk about the culinary environment in St. Louis and how we outpunch our weight class. Do you agree with that in St. Louis? Like the food offerings in St. Louis, where could we be stronger? Where do you think our strengths are?
We have an amazing food town. It all starts with Vince Bommarito Jr. and that in the Hill, and the likes of like Bill Cardwell and Steve Gontram, and there's like such an incredible foundation. Then you fast forward and then the likes of like Gerard Kraft, Hemel Woolman, Quee. There's so many, and then Lauren just won the James Beard. What they're doing at Sada is incredible stuff. There's just so many. I don't want to miss anybody. You want to celebrate everyone. Vicia, Little Fox. There's just so many incredible venues out there, and everyone's kind of doing their own, beating their own drum. And whether it's a sandwich place like right around the corner from us, Blue City Deli, or doing fine dining, like I said, Vicia and that kind of thing, it's awesome.
Yeah, Sydney Street and Blue City right there in my neighborhood, and I love going to both, as I mentioned. And we're talking about the St. Louis food scene, and all these places you're talking about are different from one another. But what do you think the identity of St. Louis food is?
Well, it's a melting pot. I mean, our whole country is a melting pot. That's the one thing we're kind of getting away from. We're always, there's so many different ethnic backgrounds, and everyone comes here to celebrate and to take a chance. And so it's so cool to see everyone just doing their take or chance on the food that they either grew up with or want to do. And it's incredible to see.
Well, I am excited about this new enterprise in Ballpark Village. How did the exact conversation start? Did you approach them or did they approach you?
Well, I mean, I think they approached us, and it was more of just, I think we just kind of kicked the tires around and felt each other out and thought it'd be a great partnership. It was, it's just, you never know how any of this stuff turns out, and you never know how the conversations go. But the one thing I do know is that I always welcome every single conversation. I may not say yes to, but there's definitely, you gotta take chances. And, like I said, there's been so many examples of continuous chefs throughout this town taking chances on downtown. I mean, Gerard is one of them. He just takes chance after chance with, the hall, the ball, the soccer stadium, Four Seasons. So, we all have to do our part. And so we're just going to, you just kind of slowly chip away at it.
So the expectation is next month the Clydesdale will open?
Yes. That's our goal.
Okay, but I mean, pretty much before the season is over, that would be all right, very good.
No, it's definitely mid-August. That's our goal, and I think we're going to be there.
Awesome. Okay, well, Kevin, I hesitate. I'm going to ask a really stupid question, so please forgive me if it's the dumbest question.
And also tell her if you think it's stupid.
You can tell me if they think it's stupid. Yeah,
I
hesitated. That's why I'm kind of like pausing here because I don't want to ask a stupid question. But they are going into the last season of The Bear, that show. And I have heard that people in the restaurant industry, like there are some who can't watch it because it's too real and like too much PTSD. Does The Bear ring true for you, or what is your experience with that show if you've seen it at all?
I mean, I've seen parts of it. Yeah, I mean, there's some realistic parts to it. Of course there is, I mean, anyone in this business is taking the trash out of restaurants all over. That's all I did. Sometimes it was a fancier taking the trash out, but it's all the same, and all the stress is all the same. You want to make people happy, and so that's stressful. How do you do it? You do it through, technique, ingredients, service, your restaurant. But one true thing that kind of binds everything together is the hospitality and trying to make people happy. You know what, though? I don't envision, Kevin, that you're one of those people berating everybody in the kitchen, right? I've had my moments, unfortunately.
I'm sweating right now. I am just thinking about this show. I am sweating. I was just so intense and so stressful. Whew, I'm not tough enough.
Everyone is.
No, she is not. No, she's not. And it does take a very special person to work in a kitchen. Like I see it happen, and I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way I could do any of that. It takes an incredible talent, and
and
obviously,
passion. Thank you
passion.
for your passion.
Obviously, you are extremely successful. And congrats on the new place. Good luck with it, and we can't wait to visit.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Kevin Nashin opening up the Clydesdale, a Clark Avenue Tavern, which will be next month, middle of August. It is going to open at Ballpark Village. And Kevin, a James Beard Award winner, also owns Sydney Street. If you've not been there, go do it. It is really, really good. And Peacemaker, also really, really good. Right up the block. So very, very close to each other. That is Kevin Nashin with us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. And I also lied. I said he was in studio. He's clearly not. He's in London.
He's in London, yeah.
So it's better for him. He doesn't have to be here with us.
Best quote of the interview. I've had my moments.
I didn't see that coming. As you know, this big event has been happening for the last couple of weeks. It is the biggest stage in sports, and unfortunately for the U.S. team, they are out. But some pretty good soccer is still coming up. In fact, tonight or later today, actually, you've got France and Morocco playing against each other, the biggest stage in the world, and FanDuel is changing the game. And they have recognized that sometimes, you're going to place a wager on a player, and then as the game goes on, that player gets subbed out of the game. Well, that stinks because your bet goes along with him. Not now, not with FanDuel Super Sub. So here's what it does. It allows you to place a wager on a guy. If he leaves the game for whatever reason, if he's subbed out, your wager stays in with the substitute who comes in for him. It's a great deal, FanDuel Super Sub, and it allows you to stay involved right up until the final whistle. Just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started now. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Some great soccer still ahead. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
S&L Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call S&L. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. S&L Coin.
Milo's Money Days are here, and we're making it rain for rewards members. For the first time ever, when you make a purchase of $200 or more through July 12th, you'll get up to $30 back in extra Milo's money. Not a member yet? Join for free today, because members get more at Lowe's. Milo's Money Award varies based on status. Members in gold get 30, silver get 20, and bronze get 10. Milo's Money valid for 30 days. Restrictions and more terms at Lowes.com/Milo's Money Days.
If you're having a major project done at your house, it can be a long process. It can be kind of tedious or frustrating, and hopefully, though, when it's all done, you can stand back and look and think, oh my gosh, this is an incredible improvement. Sometimes it doesn't work that way, though, if you choose the wrong company. That's why I'm telling you that if you're thinking about a major project in your outdoor space, even a minor project, call Chesterfield Fence and Deck, because Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. They only use the highest quality products. They have their own installation crews with years of experience. That is extremely important. And Chesterfield Fence and Deck has been around for 58 years, a quality company, and they offer value. They're not going to be your cheapest bid, but they're going to be the best, and it's going to last for years to come, so you can stand back and think, money well spent. They'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing if you mention me, Debbie Monterey. Stop by and visit them, or visit them online right now at chesterfieldfence.com. Chesterfield Fence and Deck.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply. Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
All right, I may have told you this already because I couldn't believe it. And it's not even a new story. It's from about a year ago that this took place. But I just learned that a Ukrainian sniper apparently had last summer what is believed to be the longest ever kill shot.
Okay.
This sniper killed 2 Russian soldiers with a single bullet from 2.5 miles away, over 12,000 feet away. And the record shot was fired on August 14th with the assistance of AI using a 14.5 millimeter alligator rifle. This is according to the Ukrainian military. But 2.5 miles away, a single bullet, 2 Russian soldiers.
That's pretty incredible.
And you said you've got to account for Spindrift.
Spindrift.
And I said the slightly flavored sparkling water, which is the only Spindrift I know.
No, Spindrift is the at long distances for a guy who hates guns.
Yeah.
I don't hate them. I just don't.
You know
they're not
war.
my thing.
You like war. You don't like war. You like worrying about
I don't know.
war.
I like it, but I know what Spindrift is, and that is because the bullet spins like a football, like a thrown football.
Yeah.
That over a long distance, that spin will make it tail or cut, whatever you want. And so, like, you have to account for that, and you have to account for wind. That's a crazy shot.
I think for 12,000 feet, the Spindrift could be feet. Because I thought it said every 1,000 feet, it could be like 10 inches or something. That's insane.
That's incredible skill. I think being a sniper, I know there are other more physically demanding parts of the military, and I'm not an expert, but I would have to think being a sniper is everything combined, potentially the hardest. Just because of the skill you have to have, and then sometimes you're in the same place for like 48 hours and can't move. It just, Ooh. Anyway, Amy, did you see that the last American polio survivor has died at the age of 78? So the last American polio survivor in an iron lung has died at 78 years old.
Is not that old.
I know.
To have been in an iron lung.
I didn't know that people were still in them, and I guess there aren't anymore. Martha Ann Lillard, 78. She was invited by News Nation to do an interview, and she has passed away. Don't get polio. It's not good. And get vaccinated. Chris and Amy show on KMOX. Matt Pauley joins the show next.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I'm with Mark Cantor of Cantor Injury Law. And Mark, why is
just advertising here, more than just a billboard on the highway? It means showing up here. It means supporting local events and local charities.
But why is local so important?
It's important because we know the law, we know the judges, we know the roads, and we understand the community.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
You can count on Cantor. Visit CantorInjuryLaw.com.
Get ready for our compact tractor event at Seidenstriger Nobe Partners in St. Charles, located off Veterans Memorial Parkway. Stop by July 9th through the 11th and check out our John Deere equipment. During this special event, receive an additional $1,000 off our sizzling hot summer discounts on select 1 through 5E 3-cylinder compact tractor packages. Get the details now at SNPartners.com. Seidenstriger Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 7/11/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
This year, America celebrates 250 years. 2.5 centuries of courage, sacrifice, and family stories passed down from one generation to the next. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger, founders of Legacy Box. Your family's piece of the American story is sitting in an attic or closet right now, trapped on aging VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, film reels, and fading photos.
Those boxes hold moments you can never recreate. Your wedding day, your children's voices when they were little, grandparents coming back to life on screen.
Over 2 million families have trusted Legacy Box. And we've just partnered with the USO to digitize fragile handwritten letters from World War II, helping preserve American history for future generations.
As America turns 250, remember that your family is a part of the American story. Preserving those voices, faces, and moments is a part of your responsibility to the next generation. Don't let them disappear on your watch.
Visit legacybox.com/radio for our amazing America 250 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to save.
Here's an
old joke about Uncle Sam's new tax short form. The first line says, "How much did you make?" The next line says, "Send it in." Really? Not that funny, but that's what a lot of people do in retirement. They take money out of their 401k or IRA and end up sending it in when they pay taxes. Steve All of the All Financial Group invites you to take their tax challenge. What if your current plan included thousands of dollars in unnecessary taxes and fees? Or maybe higher Medicare premiums or a lower Social Security check? What if the savings you realized could allow you to retire early? Wouldn't you want to know about that right now? Take the All Financial Group Tax Challenge and find out. There's no charge. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Homeowners, I know a lot of you are worried about one thing when it comes to selling, and that's leaving money on the table. Hey, this is Kevin Wheeler. I'm here with Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So, Gloria, how do you help sellers make sure that they get top dollar?
The reality is, most homes don't sell for what they should. I see it happen all the time. They either price it wrong or they don't create enough demand. But with over 2,400 buyers in my buyers in waiting database and my exclusive pricing strategy, I'm able to offer my seller a 100% market value guarantee. And if I can get you 100% of your home's market value, I'll pay you the difference. So you don't have to wonder if you left money on the table. You can sell with confidence, knowing you maximize your sale.
Make sure you get every dollar for your home. That's why you call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 10 o'clock and we have cloudy skies in downtown St. Louis, 84 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. 2 people in custody facing kidnapping charges related to the remains of a child found in Illinois.
According to a post on the Deloge Police Department's Facebook page, 32-year-old Ronell Marquise Jones and 35-year-old Kirsty Dora are both in custody and face kidnapping and harassment charges. Jones is identified as the father of the child in the post. According to a probable cause statement, Jones was taken into custody on June 30th after the mother of the child contacted authorities saying she had not seen her son since April of 2024. She told police the child was last seen with Jones in his car and missing teeth before Jones drove off. While interviewed by law enforcement, Jones gave multiple excuses to the child's whereabouts, including claims the child was in the custody of the Children's Division, to saying he was left with an Amish community in Mississippi where Jones periodically visited him. It was determined through witness statements the child was deceased. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Protests in Houston after a father of 3 is shot and killed by ICE agents. Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, who family members say had been in the United States for 35 years, was shot while on his way to work. Homeland Security officials say Araujo was trying to ram agents with his car and that officers shot in self-defense, but they've provided no evidence to back up that claim. More from ABC's John Quinones.
Growing outrage in Houston after a man was shot and killed by ICE agents earlier this week. New video appears to show the moment an ICE agent cuts off a white van. Later, also seen in disturbing new video from a passing car, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo lying bleeding on the street, surrounded by agents.
Several dozen protesters marching in support of a 3-time Olympian accused of damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. David Hearn has pleaded not guilty to a felony charge after President Trump claimed without evidence that the reflecting pool had been vandalized. Bonnie Tyler, the Welsh pop star known for Total Eclipse of the Heart, has died at the age of 75. She was hospitalized in Portugal in May for emergency surgery and placed in an induced coma. Tyler earned 3 Grammy nominations, represented Britain at Eurovision in 2013. Her iconic song, Boosted by Real Eclipses, has more than 1 billion streams.
Intervals of clouds and sun, very warm but humid this afternoon with a shower and thunderstorm around, the high 90.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, warm and muggy with a couple of thunderstorms that can be severe with flooding downpours, hail, and damaging winds. The low 74. Clouds and some sunshine, very warm and humid again tomorrow with a shower and thunderstorm in the area, high 89. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Cloudy with some sunshine coming through right now. It's 84 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Honey, I found the one.
Oh, I thought I was the one.
Oh, you are, but this one's certified, background check, shows up on time, and can install all the ceiling fans.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing. Trusted pros who do it right.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
There's a chopper toward the second baseman, charging for Mean. He throws quickly. Got him for a Redbird winner. Light up the night in downtown St. Louis.
Yo, Paulie!
Paulie's a great name.
Yo, Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything? Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Cardinals ended that losing streak, and they ended 2 losing streaks, actually, the overall one of 4 games. And then they had the losing streak against the Brewers, which was up to 7, and they put that at an end, or to an end, last night. With a victory, they will finish up the series against the Brewers tonight. It is a 5:50 pregame, 6:45 first pitch. Matt Pauley is the host of the pre- and post-game shows, Redbird Rush Hour, and Sports Open Line on KMOX, and he joins us now on the Quiver River Electric guest line. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning.
Desperately needed a good start from Michael McGreevy, which he had pitched. He had thrown 6 innings several times this year. In fact, he had done it, I think, going back to the very end of May, had done it every single start except for one. So he had given them a little bit of depth, and for the first time, he pitches into the 7th, and that could not have come at a better time for them.
It could not have. And to make your point, so last night he throws 6 or more innings, allowing 2 runs or fewer for a 13th time this season. Only he and Christopher Sanchez, who's a Cy Young Award candidate for the Phillies, have done that this year. That is tops in Major League Baseball. So McGreevy gets you to the 6th more often than not. Got you into the 7th yesterday. A lot has been made of where the Cardinals' pitching is at right now. So the fact that he was able to go get you and one more out in the 7th inning, that was impactful, and that was one less out that the bullpen had to get last night.
So speaking of the bullpen workload, we know it's been a bit of a problem lately, which is why they handled the doubleheader the way they did, and it didn't work on those two games specifically because they lost both of them. But what do you think they gained by doing it over the next couple of weeks, if anything?
Yeah, I mean, they're surviving to the All-Star break. I don't know. You say next couple weeks, I think they come out of the All-Star break kind of the same almost no matter what. Although there were some of these guys who I think they were legitimately worried that if they overused them, there was an increased injury concern that went along with that. So perhaps they save a guy an injury by not using them over the last couple days, and that certainly is a possibility. But right now it's just about survival to the break, win the games that you possibly can win, and then you're able to press the reset button once you get there.
Matt, did you like what you saw from rookie Louis Gastelum? I was listening to the broadcast on KMOX. John Rooney, Ricky Horton talking about the rookie who was added to the roster early yesterday and how, I guess in AAA, he hadn't given up a run since May. It's been like 2 months since anyone scored against him.
Yeah, it had been 18 AAA appearances since he had last given up a run. He's fun, and he's got this changeup, which is a high-level pitch. It's one of the better pitches in Major League Baseball, and he's appeared one time in Major League Baseball. So the changeup is really, really good. Now the question for him is going to be, is he able to, what else can he throw that can go get guys out? Because if you're a one-pitch pitcher in Major League Baseball, you are not going to be successful no matter how good that pitch is. But there's a lot of excitement about him. It was fun to see him come in last night. Oliver Marmol said after the game that that was the most calm he has ever seen somebody in his career when handing a ball to a pitcher for the first time ever, making their Major League debut. So he was ready to go. He had had some friends and family in the ballpark last night. Came into a situation where he had to finish off the 7th inning after Michael McGreevy had gotten the first out, allowed an inherited runner to score, but it looked good. And the big thing for him was, so you've got this changeup. And the changeup is going to be able to do two separate things for you. You're going to be able to get some swing and miss off of it for sure. But then the other thing is when people do make contact, more often than not, it's going to be soft contact. And the final out that he got from Andrew Vaughn, it left Vaughn's bat at 44.6 miles per hour and had a negative 61-degree launch angle. That's what you're going to see, just super soft contact into the ground against that changeup, even when guys make contact. So it was good to see him have success with that.
That's kind of how the Cardinals pitching staff has had to live over the last couple of years anyway, because it's not been a big strikeout total team, so they've had to rely on weak contact a lot.
Yeah, although this is different. I mean, he's not a, quote unquote pitch to contact guy. It's just if there's contact made against the changeup, it's not going to be very good contact. He'll get swing and miss for sure. So that's not his profile. It's a great pitch because you're either going to get a whiff or you're going to get soft contact and all like that.
So this stretch of games that we talked about going into it, I'm not sure if you talked about it with us, but we have had plenty of discussion about this stretch heading into the All-Star break because they were finally playing a string of opponents that are all pretty darn good. You got the Braves, you had the Cubs series, this Brewers series, 5 games against them, which is, not what you want to have to do against a good team like that. And then you got the Braves again before the All-Star break. So far, the Cardinals are 5-5 on this stretch. Or make that, it's 5-5 so far on this stretch. That includes a 4-game losing streak. What you didn't want to have happen is for them to get absolutely buried during this. It has not happened. There are still 4 games left to go, however. How do you feel about the way they've played in this stretch? And are you satisfied with a 500 record at this point?
Look, the first 3 games against Milwaukee were not good. And you had 2 games that you could have won. You were one swing of the bat away from winning either of those 4-3 games, and it just didn't happen. And then things completely go sideways in that 10-2 loss. And that's just it's a really good Milwaukee team that the Cardinals do not match up well against. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, I'm happy about the 500 record. But I think what you said is correct, that they're not buried. They haven't done anything that's going to have a huge impact on, negative impact on the things that they still would like to accomplish this year. You're bummed out about the way this Milwaukee series has gone because of those first 3 games. But they're fine. I think they're totally fine. And their record right now is 48-43. They're 5 games over 500. If you can be around there at the break, so let's say I don't know, even if you lose today, but then take 2 of 3 against Atlanta, that puts you back 5 over at the break. I think you feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, and right now the Cardinals, if you're somebody who's taking a look at standings just through the halfway point, they're a couple of games out of that final wild card spot. Cubs and Phillies are 1 and 2, and then the Marlins are right there. How good do you think the Marlins and, for that matter, the Nationals and Pirates really are? Because those are basically the other teams that are right around where the Cardinals are at the moment.
Yeah, the Marlins are the surprise for me because they've been one of the best teams in baseball really since June 1st. They have the best record in Major League Baseball in the month of June, and that hasn't stopped in July. They're on a 5-game winning streak right now. They just took 2 in a row against the Mariners, a really good Mariners team, and they're looking for a sweep against them today. So when the season got started, I would have told you that I don't think very much of the Miami Marlins. I don't know how real this team is. I think we can have very much the same conversation that we're having about the Cardinals about the Marlins. There are certainly some things that you like about that team, but I don't know. I feel like at some point they fall off a little bit. I'm not a big believer in the Nationals. I'm not a big believer in the Pirates. The Pirates just lost Connor Griffin for the next 2 months. That certainly hurts them. But all those teams that are within 5 games of that final wild card spot, Cardinals, Marlins, Nationals, Pirates, Padres, Diamondbacks, I don't think any of those teams are especially better than any of the other teams. And I would expect, unless some of those teams just like really sell off, and that could happen with the Marlins. The Marlins could very easily trade away Sandy Alcantara, even if they're sitting in a playoff spot. Unless one of these teams really sells off and starts to tank after the deadline, I think all these teams are going to be right there.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really fascinating race, and it's going to happen in the American League too. So I love the additional wild card, and I kind of love the fact that all of these teams are, sort of in that muddy middle kind of thing, right? Where you've got everybody who is competitive and they're in the conversation and probably will be for the next several weeks. I like that. I like that teams and cities are still interested in the sport, probably over the next several weeks.
I would agree. By the way, God bless you to Amy. I think I heard.
Dude, I'm going to tell you something
the
about
mic off.
These two idiots in this room. They sneeze. There must be, I don't know what's going on in this room, but you
Mildew.
guys,
I'm afraid of
holy
mildew.
crap, you guys sneeze so much. What is going on?
I don't
Get
sneeze.
an allergy pill.
Listen, I sneeze
Get
more
a
than you do.
Zyrtec. Find an Allegra. Do something.
I'm not as bad as Matt Pajeski.
Zizal is the way to go. Let me just
Whatever.
say that as
What's it called?
somebody who has Zizal.
I'm going to
That's
buy.
the only-
I'm going to buy a year
Zizal.
supply for these idiots in here because they sneeze. They have more sneezing fits than anything I've ever seen in my life. Never seen
When I
anything
moved,
like it.
I was always a Clarendon guy, and then I moved back to St. Louis 4 years ago, and it did absolutely nothing. And I made the switch to Zizal, and like I go to Sam's. There's a Sam's version of it. Yeah, it's the best.
I've
allergy
never heard
drug
of
I've
it.
ever
I
had.
haven't either.
Yeah.
Starts with
There
an
you
X.
go.
X Y Z A L.
Before we let you go, I did want to ask. I don't know if it's a question so much as an observation, but in last night's game, McGreevy pitches and then gets hit right in the chest with a ball going 103 miles an hour. And I watched it in slow motion, and I thought, well, maybe it grazed him. No, it hit him right in the sternum. And you see this with guys getting hit by pitches, obviously, but especially like a pitcher getting hit right in the sternum. He barely flinched. He makes the out at first. I don't understand how baseball players are hit by baseballs as hard as they are and keep going. And I say this like, obviously, the soccer players we're seeing in the World Cup, they flip and flop and writhe in pain. It makes no sense to me. The NHL, you see players get hit, and that's their, it's a really rough sport. But with baseball, I don't know how these guys just take a baseball to the sternum and act like nothing happens.
So like for swimmers, sometimes you see the ones who do the cupping, and they've got like the circles all over their body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
Which I think has got to be like, that's voodoo. There's no way that actually works.
I don't know if it does or not. I've definitely talked to athletes who believe in it. Sometimes you see catchers, and they look like they have done that. Like that's what their upper body looks like because they have just been nailed by so many pitches, and their body is just filled with bruises. Professional athletes at that level, they're tougher than normal people, tougher than me for sure. If somebody hits me in the sternum with a 104 mile per hour line drive, I'm crawling. I'm just going down, and I'm going to slowly crawl or writhe my way into the dugout and cry.
Yeah.
And
It
they
would look
just
like,
keep going.
For me, it would look like a Tom and Jerry cartoon where the cannonball goes right through Tom, and then he's just got a hole in his body. I mean, that's what I would look like. And, I don't know how they're able to do this. I will also say, now this was something from, it was on NPR, actually, that the new, more popular catcher stance where you have one knee up and one knee on the ground versus the traditional squat, like to help reduce leg fatigue. Apparently, guys are getting hit in the area
Where you don't want to get
where
hit?
you don't want to get
Yeah.
hit a whole lot more with that stance.
I mean, that
The
makes sense.
the data shows. It was a data-driven analysis.
Man, those folks at NPR really have some time on their hands.
Well, they got a lot of employees. They should.
They do
All
have
right.
a lot of employees.
Tonight, 5:50 pregame, 6:45 first pitch. Matt Pauley will have all that for you. Thank you, Matt.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Hey, so I had a fun thing happen to me yesterday. I got in the car. I don't know what time it was, but I turned on the radio.
Oh.
Listening to 104.1, listening to
It's us.
the Cardinals game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm listening to John and Ricky and Claves, and they're talking about baseball and stuff. And I got the windows up, and the air conditioning is on, right? And I hear, like, outside of my car, because where was I? I was on Tucker.
Okay.
I think it was on Tucker, getting close to Enterprise. And I hear, like, bang, 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 bang. And I was like, I know what's coming. And then, like, 10 seconds later,
Here it is for Burleson. A swing and a long one. Right field. That ball is long gone. Burleson, a 2-run shot off a lefty. Jared Koenig. The Cardinals have extended their lead to 5-0.
that was the coolest.
That's awesome.
Because I'm like, I hear the fireworks, like, oh, home run's coming. And then I heard the call. And it's a great call, too. John had a good one.
I was listening to that call as well. It was a great call. My friends live in Lafayette Square.
Yeah. You
And
can hear
when-
the fireworks.
Yeah,
from
so
there.
he goes, when he's watching the ball game, he hears the fireworks before
Oh, yeah.
the home run.
Dude, I used to live, as you know, I used to live by Wrigley Field. I was like 5 buildings from it. You could hear everything going on there. But I love that stuff with the
That's
fireworks in the
awesome.
distance. I'm like, uh-oh, home run's coming,
That's
baby.
awesome.
Oh, I loved it. That's Amy Marks Coors. I'm Chris Ranji. Major Garrett is going to join us just after 10:30, as he always does on Thursdays on 104.1 FM KMOX.
You work hard, follow the rules, and get absolutely slammed by taxes. Your paycheck taxed, your property taxed, everything you buy taxed. Missouri's tax system isn't broken, it's rigged against you. The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like Fine Print Facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's Supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circa Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. For everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circa Sports app, then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circa Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The new Omaha Steak Store is now open in Baldwin at 15305 Manchester Road in Central Plaza. Stop in today and save 50% store-wide on legendary steaks, burgers, and more. Plus, get doorbuster deals starting at just $19.99. Discover the Omaha Steaks difference today at the new store at Central Plaza in Baldwin.
Proudly serving St. Louis for over 100 years. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
All right, Amy, I saw this yesterday.
All right.
And I'm going to play a sound for you. And I would like to know if you can guess what the sound is. Because I don't think I would be able to do it. And then, of course, I'm going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
So,
do I get one question after I hear the sound?
Sure. Okay. Fine. We'll play your stupid game.
I knew you were going to... I'll have to... Okay, never mind.
It's always got to be some kind of caveat with you. All right. So here's the sound, and I want you to tell me if you know what this is.
Okay.
Okay, take a guess. You've heard what it is.
Yep.
Can you tell me what it is?
A giant sewing machine.
Now, doesn't it sound like a giant sewing machine? You are going to be stunned.
Wait, let me guess.
Oh, okay.
Is it the walk signal in Australia?
The walk signal in Australia? Oh, yeah, because they do have the little clicking sound.
Yeah. Is it a little kid on his bike with the baseball card and the spokes riding through a factory?
It is not.
Okay.
What it is a child. His name is Yiğit Arslan, and he is from Turkey. And he is clicking a mouse. These are mouse clicks.
Is this a world record?
He has set the world record for the number of mouse clicks in 60 seconds. And he clicked the mouse 760 times for the world record. That's him clicking the mouse over and over again.
Do you know what? There is a certain tap that only certain tap dancers could do, and it's called.
I know you're talking about the little toe thing.
It's called the nerve tap or something. Yeah, where it's like the nerves firing. You're not using the muscle.
Don't they do it in White Christmas?
Yep, Vera Ellen does it, and apparently you could find that, Matt. The Vera Ellen. I think it's called nerve tapping or something with the nerve because, and I wonder if he's using that technique or somehow it's. Because it's so fast, I don't think
he's clicking it with his ring finger on his right hand. So he's got, you making the OK sign. He's got that on the mouse, and he's clicking with his.
Wait, what's the? I thought the OK sign was your pointer finger.
That's what he's doing.
Okay, yeah.
The pointer finger and the thumb.
Yeah.
He's holding it like that.
Oh, interesting.
On top of the mouse, and he's clicking with his ring finger 760 times in a minute.
Wow.
Now, here's my question.
Yeah.
When do you figure out that you can do something like this, and how? And why? Why do people?
Maybe he was trying to buy tickets and he was trying to refresh the page.
That's not a bad call.
Or
That's possible. He's a gamer.
Yeah.
He is a gamer. He's an esports. He's on an actual team.
I bet there's something where if you click a box, you get points. And he realized he could get more points than anybody else.
Yeah. So that is a Guinness Book of World Records now. 760 mouse clicks in 1 minute. So I am curious about if you have a weird talent or a dumb talent that has no use at all. How did you discover you have it? And what were you doing? And how bored were you? Let us know if you've got one. 314-436-7900. Go ahead and text in or leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app.
Yeah.
Amy, do you have one?
I was trying to think. Other than the North Dakota, Wisconsin accent, when I was younger, I could bend like my finger all the way back to touch the top of my hand.
Is that a talent? Or a deformity?
I have a friend who
That's
can...
the age-old question.
I have a friend, if you could picture this, who can stand up, put her hand down on a bar stool or and turn her hand 360 degrees all the way around. Actually, it's more than 360. It's wild. I hate it. Amy Marks Kors.
I gotta think.
Think about your dumb talent. And the listeners, too. Let us know what yours is. When we come back, Major Garrett, Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, will join the show on KMOX.
Around baseball, questions are being asked.
Why do they win so many one-run games? Why do they win games they shouldn't win?
Is this a rebuild, a reset, or something more?
You think this stuff would be happening?
A win? Burleson and Herrera developing fast enough to change everything in real time? When the day ends, the real conversation begins.
Bernie Miklasz, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler hanging out with you talking cards.
Redbird Rush Hour, weekdays at 5. This is Cardinals talk that doesn't flinch.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Lederman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at LedermanLaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's humid today. 85 degrees, clouds, sunshine, and some heavy thunderstorms in the area throughout the afternoon and into the evening, and those could bring flooding downpours, hail, and damaging wind gusts. A high today of 91. Tonight, the low of 73. Weather sponsored by Ricken Financial.
Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost cover the 3 key pillars of retirement planning: income, risk, and your tax strategy. Join us for Kickin' with the Rickens Redefining Retirement every Saturday at 3 p.m. right here on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up. Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined, and the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
If you are looking for a place for independent living for older adults, the place is Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. It was voted U.S. News and World Report's best independent living for 5 consecutive years. They have social events for the residents there, wellness programs. Just go to fairwindsriversedge.com. Schedule a tour and hear about all of the great new updated spaces, all the dining, the social events, the best. fairwindsriversedge.com.
All right, you have worked hard all spring, all summer to keep your lawn looking its best, and leave it up to moles to ruin all your work in no time. I know this is a big deal. Growing up, my dad would spend all that time in the yard, and then the moles would dig their tunnels and tear up the landscaping and tear up, all the lawn, especially if maybe you just put down sod to fix a tough spot in the lawn, and now the moles have ruined everything. This is a sign that it's time to call Rottler. Rottler's annual mole control program gives you one simple fixed price for the year. That means no charge per mole, so no surprise costs, no matter how many moles decide to move into your backyard. The program also includes comprehensive exterior treatments, follow-up visits between scheduled services if needed, and year-round warranted protection to keep your property looking its best. And like I said, since those treatments are all exterior, you don't even have to be home for Rottler to perform the service. So don't let moles take over your yard. Contact Rottler today and let the experts protect the lawn you've worked so hard to maintain. Rottler.com.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX. It's Major News with Major Garrett, our weekly conversation with CBS's chief Washington correspondent.
Every Thursday, just after 10:30, we talk to Major Garrett. And he is also the host of The Takeout on CBS News 24/7. And you can listen to or watch that show, and you should do it. He does it every day during the week. Major Garrett is with us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. Good morning, Major.
Good morning. How is everybody?
Hey, we're doing okay, and it sounds like we're back at war again, huh?
It sure does.
Yeah.
And that's not a trivial matter. And what we had until last night, and this happened during my show, 5 o'clock Eastern, the second round of airstrikes, they had been sort of one, and then everyone would wait, meaning the United States would wait. But 2 in a row indicates that this could escalate. Iran overnight fired missiles into Jordan, trying to target a U.S. airbase there. They were intercepted. But the Iranians have said we are going to inflict damage on regional partners of the U.S. in this conflict, which means this could escalate. And if it does, then the instability that drove up oil prices, which drove up gas prices, will return, and we'll be back to where we were 2 or 3 months ago. And this temporary phase where the Vice President, J.D. Vance, and President Trump were talking about how reasonable and rational the Iranian leadership has become, will have ended, and this will be sort of back where we were in March and April. With all the instability and uncertainty that era brought, doubled this time.
Major, when you are looking at the situation now, going into 5 months of this conflict, when we were initially told by the president it would be 2 weeks, we know he was thinking, hey, I want this to go just like the Venezuela issue went. You know, you go in, you get your guy, and you leave.
Yep.
As this has escalated, how are we seeing the military strategy evolve, or is it evolving? Does it seem to be that the president and the administration is kind of, making decisions day by day just as much as they were when they thought it would be a 2-week war?
Right, because at the stage we're at now, the range of targets in Iran is somewhat limited unless the president decides to go full scorched earth and destroy infrastructure central to the well-being of ordinary, everyday Iranians, energy infrastructure, bridges, all sorts of other things, which he has over time and repeatedly threatened to do, but he's still not doing that. We are targeting militarily relevant facilities inside Iran. And yet, the Iranian regime has not collapsed. The Iranian regime continues to cling to power, and through low-level, harassing, asymmetric warfare, the Iranians continue to exert influence over the Strait of Hormuz and threaten regional partners. So that part of the capability of Iran hasn't, been extinguished. So the war has degraded what Iran had militarily. That degradation is real. It's a credit to the United States military for identifying those targets, hitting them with precision, et cetera, et cetera. But the degradation is not complete. Iran still has ways to maneuver around the United States military might and survive. The Iranian regime is all about survival. And to your point, Amy, at the prodding of the Israeli prime minister, and that's now fundamentally clear, the administration went into this conflict believing there was a very real chance to topple the regime and make Iran anew. That hasn't happened. Yes, the existing regime was killed. Those who came after were also targeted and killed. But the ideology and the tenacity of that regime remains. And that is a constant source of frustration for the administration, because as beaten back as Iran is militarily, it is still in the fight. And that being in the fight continues to inflict economic instability. And to quote the president himself several weeks ago, I don't want to be Herbert Hoover. I don't want a global depression. So I want this over. Well, now we're back at, we're going to fight over the Strait of Hormuz and we're going to inflict lots of damage on the Iranians and see where it ends up. The see where it ends up phase is where we've returned to, and there are a great number of variables hanging over that.
Domestically, Major, the Graham Plattner situation in Maine as he was running for Senate and had to drop out because of the sexual assault allegations against him. What does this mean for Democrats there, other than we know that McDreamy's not going to be running for Senate because he, suppose people wanted him
catch
to?
Catch everyone up on what you mean by that,
Okay.
Ron. Catch everyone up.
Wait, is McDreamy Major Garrett?
No,
Oh,
never.
okay.
Those words have never been in any sentence spoken in the English language or any other language.
Well, I think you're great. Patrick Dempsey, the actor who was in Grey's Anatomy, who was a surgeon, and he goes by McDreamy in the show. But people wanted him to run for Senate. Well, he says he's not going to. I just
Right.
like, where
House
did
and Kenny Bunkport, he could have technically qualified. He's out.
where did
So
that
that's
come
not
from in
gonna
the first place? And so what does it mean overall for the party?
So what it means overall is basic rules of politics still apply. What are the basic rules of politics? Vetting matters. You have to understand who your standard bearer is for any race of importance, and this one certainly is. It's central to the entire midterm map for Democrats if they have any hope of retaking the majority in the United States Senate. In races of consequence, vetting matters. And when people within a campaign, so people who worked for Graham Plattner, who took a look under the hood of his personal character and said, I'm out, I cannot represent this. When that happens early on, people should take heed. And when stories keep cropping up about things that raise legitimate questions about his past orientation to issues of policing, sexual violence, attitudes about the military and his 4 terms of service in Iraq and Afghanistan, then you ought to take them seriously and not put them aside and say only the establishment or only entrenched interests are raising these. No, red flags are red flags. But what happened in this conversation is those who backed Graham Plattner kept saying it doesn't matter. And one of their orientations to that question was, look, Trump is as morally and characterally compromised as any figure in modern American politics, and he keeps winning. So if your message is right, if your authenticity hits the right notes, it doesn't matter what your personal character is. Well, actually, it might. And in this case, lots of progressives who backed Graham Plattner kept telling themselves, well, this is okay. I'm not comfortable with it, but this is okay. Well, I'm not comfortable with that, but it's still okay. Well, I'm getting increasingly uncomfortable, but it's okay because not another shoe is going to drop. And literally, there was a closet full of shoes, and they kept dropping. And then finally, someone credibly accuses Graham Plattner of what was implied and suggested earlier, that he was not only inappropriate sexually, he could be at times violent and rape someone. Then they're like, oh, well, okay, the line's finally been crossed. So vetting matters, and ignoring that central truth of any race of consequence will come back to bite you. Not always, but most times. And now Maine Democrats have got to rapidly find a nominee. There's at least 6 candidates who've thrown their hat in the ring. By the way, just as a technical matter, Graham Plattner needs to sign a document to the Secretary of State's office in Maine withdrawing from this race. He still hasn't done it, so it's not officially done. And until that happens, he's still on the ballot.
Major, sticking with legislators in Washington, Mitch McConnell has not been heard from, I guess, officially. There have been some in the media, like Scott Jennings and others, who've said, I had a conversation with him.
And there was a statement from his team.
But Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said, your constituents would like to hear from you. And my question is, what have you heard, your sources? Because to be honest, if Mitch McConnell is fine, it feels like bad leadership if he's not making a statement publicly.
Right. The clampdown on information, and I know a lot of people in the McConnell world, is striking to me. Nobody is willing to say much at all about who has seen him or who hasn't seen him, what condition they think they're in, what communication they've gotten. I mean, people in this orbit, Mitch McConnell's been around Washington for a very, very long time, decades. There are lots of people who have entree into that world, and no one is talking. That tells me that things are very serious. Second of all, we have FaceTime technology, okay? Parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and kids use it all the time. All Mitch McConnell would have to do is show up on a FaceTime call and communicate and let people see for themselves. I mean, it's one way to do this. It's not only proof of life, but it's proof of acuity and conversation ability and all that other stuff. And until that happens, people are going to be rightfully and properly skeptical, because what happened earlier this week is, and there's this phrase in politics, well, you should stay on message. Yeah, well, you shouldn't stay on message so much so that 3 separate messages read almost exactly the same way. Scott Jennings, John Thune, Senate Majority Leader, Senate Majority Whip, John Barrasso, all say almost exactly the same thing. I talked to Mitch McConnell for 20 minutes. They all said 20 minutes. Wait, were you on an egg timer? What, all exactly 20 minutes? Was there a microwave going in the background? All exactly 20 minutes? And you all talked about the exact same things. We talked about Graham Platten. We talked about Iran. We talked about Senate procedure. I'm like, wait a minute, folks, come on now. This strains credulity. It just does.
Yeah.
And until there's a way for the senator's staff and the senator himself to clear this up, significant questions will remain, not only about his underlying health, but will he ever return to the Senate? And those are legitimate Kentucky-wide questions. They're not partisan questions. He's a duly elected senator with obligations in that body for the people in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, whether you voted for Mitch McConnell or did not. Whether you're an independent, a Republican, or a Democrat, you have representation in the Senate, and he is your senator. What's happening? These are questions that should, and I think must be answered.
So what is the benefit for Republicans in not being honest about what's going on with him?
I don't know. Now, there is, in general, and I've watched this play out with other members of the Senate. It played out with Dianne Feinstein late in her career when it was clear she was no longer mentally and physically capable of carrying out the obligations and duties of a senator. I saw this with Thad Cochran, a Republican from Mississippi, also, who declined very rapidly while still in office. There is a protective cocoon that hardens around senators, particularly senators, sometimes members of the House, but very much so in the Senate. And nobody wants to say anything because it's their business. They're elected. They're duly elected. If there's no election coming up or they've announced their retirement, there's no way to dislodge them. So they're in, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, you could explain things, but if you don't feel like explaining, there's no forcing mechanism to make you do that, other than your general responsibility to your constituents. But if you don't feel like they need to know and you don't want to tell them, guess what? You're a senator and you don't tell them. I've watched this happen before. And so this is what's playing out now. I don't think it's advantageous or disadvantageous. I just think it is. And there's a history of this isness in the Senate where people just feel like they don't have to talk. They don't have to explain. And it doesn't do those who sent them to Washington in the first place any good. But it's played out before, and it's playing out now.
So as a matter of process, as we say goodbye, I mean, if he is dead, Beshear gets to appoint his replacement, but he has to appoint a Republican, right?
That's what the underlying law says. Now, that law has not been tested in court, and its constitutionality under the Kentucky Constitution is in some question. But it would be Beshear. There's like a committee that has to give him a set number of Republicans. He has to pick only from that. But if he wants to litigate that, he could. But we just need to know, hey, Senator McConnell, alive or dead? Are you coming back to the Senate? What is your status?
Major Garrett, we appreciate you. Thank you once again. We'll talk next week.
We'll talk next week.
That is Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent for CBS News. Watch or listen to his show, The Takeout, on CBS News 24/7. And you can get that show on, again, CBS News 24/7. It happens every weekday. You should be listening to that. And right now, we have what you would call the biggest stage in the world in sports. That's right. It is the best tournament in soccer, and it is happening. And there's a big game happening later today. It is France and Morocco. And maybe you have put down a wager on a player. Well, here's what FanDuel is doing for you, because they want you to stay in the game. So if your player gets subbed out of the game for whatever reason, the substitute who comes in for him, your bet stays on with that substitute. So you're in it until the final whistle. It's called FanDuel's Super Sub, and it is a great way to not have to give up on that bet. FanDuel Super Sub, you can take advantage of it by going to FanDuel.com/Missouri and signing up if you haven't done it yet. If you win, you get paid out instantly. It's a cool deal. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When pain starts to slow you down, BJC Healthcare and WashU Medicine orthopedic specialists are here to help. Nationally recognized leaders in orthopedics deliver care that's informed by research and personalized for you. From everyday aches to complex injuries and recovery, we're here to help you get back to doing what you love. Find an orthopedic specialist today. Visit bjc.org/orthopedics or call 314-362-9355.
Let's take a break.
Good idea.
Hey, Tom, what are you doing on that Amendment 4?
You know we fought for our freedom and rights. I'm not giving them away without a fight.
4 takes them?
That's exactly what 4 does. For over 100 years, Missouri voters have used our constitutional power to act when the politicians refused. I'll be darned if I'm voting to pass on less freedom and power to my kids.
And doesn't 4 also kill majority rule?
Yup. Creates minority rule, or just 5% of the most liberal statewide voters in one Missouri congressional district that block any citizen-led reform, making it nearly impossible to pass common-sense conservative citizen ballot measures.
That's crazy town stuff.
And we've needed our citizen ballot measure power to pass some big conservative stuff, like outlawing tax hikes without voter approval, lobbyist reforms, and term limits for career politicians.
No way I'm letting a tiny fraction of liberals derail our conservative power. I'm no on Amendment 4.
Hard no on 4.
Petty 4 buttons are inch per care governance.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Here's reason 17. In today's new world, many law firms have had money injected into their firms by Wall Street, private equity, and other lenders. This money usually comes in at very, very high interest rates. It's one of the reasons you see so many lawyers advertising. I'm John Morgan. This money is expensive and the interest compounds quickly. These law firms can have a huge need for cash just to pay that debt. Why does it matter to you? My fear is your case is settled early and for far less than it's worth, just to service the loan that has mafia-like rates. Our financial strength is your advantage. That plus our reputation makes our firm your firm. Visit forthepeople.com to see our results and verdicts. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
Chris and Amy Show, KMOX. We have one more hour to go after this, and then it is the Gas House Gang. Bernie Miklasz and me will talk a lot of Cardinals baseball. They got a win last night. They play again tonight, finish up against the Brewers. It's all here on KMOX. On our, I almost said Instagram, our Twitter. Or X, if you're one of those dorks who calls it
nobody
X.
Nobody calls it that.
I hear people call it X, and I'm like, go ahead. Okay. It's like Sears Tower, Willis Tower, you know what I mean? Nah, I'm not doing it.
Well, the way I view X is more like the Gulf of America or the Secretary of War.
Yeah,
not calling that. Also, the Secretary of War is not official because that has to be an act of Congress. So it's the Secretary of Defense.
That's correct. So we do have on our Twitter account, at Chris Amy KMOX. I'm going to go look through all the people following and see who's not. And then I am going to
Orange.
Threaten them.
Nope.
We have a question of the week that you should go participate in. And that question of the week is, do you still buy physical media? We're talking CDs, records, DVDs, that sort of thing. And this is all with the news that PlayStation is going to, PlayStation is going to be doing away with physical actual video game discs. Xbox, same thing pretty much. So I will miss those. I kind of like physical media, even though the convenience of being able to get whatever you want whenever you want is cool. Do you still buy that stuff? And if so, what do you buy? Let us know at Chris Amy KMOX. It is pinned to the top.
You see how close that is? How close the race is?
Yeah, we need people to vote.
We do.
Otherwise, there's going to be a tiebreaker, and it's going to be scandalous because somehow it won't be fair. Unless we do in a small opaque jar.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah. You can also comment or text 314-436-7900. Let us know what you still buy.
We had
still buy those things.
A text from the other day with Hancock and Kelly. Somebody said, 636 said, I'm always afraid that the downloads I have could disappear at any moment. Somebody else said the same thing.
They can apparently revoke them.
It just,
and I don't understand how that would work.
You
and I can't imagine
that back. It was a present.
Well, no, I paid for it. I don't know how you would do that, and I can't imagine they actually exercise that. But I guess they can, even if you've paid and downloaded a game, or whatever, they can pull it back from you.
Well, I mean, you could. I know it's a little different, but let's say you bought YouTube TV because you liked The Office, and then it's only on Peacock or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe you could.
That's why you buy the box set of The Office Complete series.
There you go. Hey, so we spent a lot of time this week after the World Cup and the U.S. men's team stinking it up on the field. We talked a lot about growth of soccer in the country and what's wrong at the youth level. We're going to talk to Jonathan Carone, who we've spoken to before, the host of Healthy Sports Parents. It is a podcast and social platform. We're going to get his thoughts on that when we come back on KMOX.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Bill, that's a big smile for an old politician.
I'm thinking about our plan. It's slick enough to make a lobbyist blush. First, we hoodwink voters with Amendment 5. Tell them it's a tax cut. Once they're hooked, we decide who pays the higher taxes.
So it's not a tax cut plan, and we don't get a say?
Right, just swaps who pays the tax, but it does remove 3 voter-passed taxpayer constitutional protections. That lets us levy new taxes on services, increase sales taxes, and even tax home sales. And voters will no longer get to vote on tax hikes.
Higher sales taxes on groceries, gas, service taxes on doctor visits, childcare, and even rent on apartments. Jeez. Taxes could exceed 20%.
Sure, they figure that up to 80% of taxpayers will pay more taxes. Many, hundreds more. Seniors, they'll get hit even harder, but our big donors will cut a fat hog.
The ones getting butchered by Amendment 5 are most taxpayers. I'm voting no on 5.
Paid for by Missourians for Fair Taxation.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
It is 11 o'clock, and right now in downtown St. Louis, we have cloudy skies, a little bit of sunshine coming through, 86 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. 2 people in custody facing parental kidnapping charges related to remains found in Illinois.
According to a post on the Deloge Police Department's Facebook page, 32-year-old Ronell Marquise Jones and 35-year-old Kirsty Dora are being held without bond while facing parental kidnapping and harassment charges. While the St. Clair County Coroner's Office has not identified the remains, the Deloge Police Department says they believe the remains belong to Jones's son, who he is accused of kidnapping. According to Jones's probable cause statements, the mother of the child contacted police on June 12th. She said in April of 2024, Jones allegedly drove off with the child in his car, and the mother has not seen her child since. The statement says Jones gave various answers to law enforcement when asked where the child was. He claimed the child was in the custody of the state before later saying he dropped him off at an Amish community in Mississippi where he would visit him. It was later determined through witnesses the child was deceased. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Iran and the U.S. are already trading strikes back and forth in the Mideast just days after President Trump said the ceasefire is dead. Iran claims today the U.S. struck 2 railway bridges. This as funeral processions and prayers continue in Iran for former Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. More from ABC's Britt Clinic.
This is not just a religious ceremony. Obviously it is too, but it's a carefully choreographed show of unity, strength, and at a very fragile moment, as we've been discussing. Iran's leadership, it has paused parts of its talks with Washington around the funeral, and senior commanders have publicly warned that the U.S. and Israel, could be launching any strikes while the procession is underway. So it carries some risk for them.
Several dozen protesters marching in support of former Olympian David Hearn indicted on a felony charge after President Trump claimed without evidence that the reflecting pool had been vandalized. Hearn is accused of tearing apart the blue pool lining. His attorney, Norm Eisen, says his client did nothing wrong.
This indictment reflects the administration's effort
to scapegoat Davy and to shift blame for their own failures.
Hearn pleaded guilty, or not guilty, I should say, today. Rising prices appear to be keeping potential home buyers on the sidelines. ABC's Jim Ryan says sales of pre-owned houses down in most parts of the country last month.
The one bright spot for sellers was the Northeast, where existing home sales rose from May to June. Nationally, though, sales were down 2.4% month over month. Looking back to 2025, though, the National Association of Realtors says sales of pre-owned homes jumped 2.8% between June of last year and June of this.
According to a new Harris poll, nearly 8 in 10 Americans say the country is innovating in the wrong areas. While companies may tout investments in the future, like AI, consumers polled are much more concerned with the price of housing, groceries, healthcare, and a good-paying job close to home now. The new nationwide survey finds a growing gap between how companies talk about innovation and what Americans actually want. 89% say they're more likely to trust a company's innovation claims when they see benefits in their own community. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, it's going to be humid today with clouds and sunshine and a heavy thunderstorm this afternoon that could bring flooding, downpours, hail, and damaging wind gusts. A high of 90. It's 86 now. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up! Cardinal Cowboy here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door Summer Tune-Up. Plus, score a free repair or replacement quote and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
RENNER. Chris Raunchy, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hour 3 of 3, and then we've got the Gas House Gang talking Cardinals baseball more. Bernie Miklasz, Chris Raunchy. Speaking of that, Jordan Walker has been announced as a home run derby participant. So he's going to be in the home run derby next week.
I think it goes on a little long, but I like the home run derby. For
Yeah,
a while.
too. I think it's the format is better now than what it was, and good luck to him.
Just don't mess up his swing.
Don't mess up the swing.
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous about that.
Yeah, so Jordan Walker in the home run derby next week. He's an all-star, obviously, and so is Riley O'Brien. So those are the two Cardinals reps. It is time to go to the Quiver River Electric guest line, and we've spoken this week a lot about soccer in the country, and it all started with the men's national team having a lousy showing, and then the question of what in the world is it with soccer in the United States? So many kids play it, but why do we not end up developing real, there are some, obviously, but enough good professional talent that it shows up on the field when it's time for the World Cup? And there are problems with youth soccer around the country. And to discuss that with us is Jonathan Carone, who is the creator of Healthy Sports Parents. You may have seen it on Instagram, on social media. It is a podcast as well, and talks a lot about youth sports and travel sports and all kinds of stuff. And Jonathan is with us on KMOX. We appreciate you again, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you, and this is a perfect time to talk to you, considering the challenges that seem to be there for youth soccer in America. And I know we all have issues with it, but as you take a 10,000-foot view of it, what do you suppose is wrong with it, or do you think that it's not that big of a problem?
This could be much longer than this segment we have right now. So
you have 5 seconds.
Think there are two big picture ideas that I'll let you decide which one you want to go into. One of them is just the overall soccer culture in America. It's our fourth or fifth sport, so it's not the same cultural cachet as it is in other countries. And then the other is capitalism.
We can't tackle both, I guess.
The pay to play.
Well, I guess let's start with capitalism, I guess, right?
Okay. So, and again, our country is built on this idea of providing products and services for profit. That's kind of baked into who we are. And what we have learned is that there are parents who will pay big money to have their kids in these programs. Soccer's the one that's on the table right now, but you look at any sport, it's the same way. Whereas in European countries and in South American countries, the high-level academy soccer programs are paid for by either the professional leagues, the teams in the professional leagues, or through private businesses who want to invest in the soccer culture of the country. One of the best takes I have heard since we lost the other night is from Seton O'Connell from the Dan Patrick Show. He used an example from Spain where there is a beer company who has a soccer academy, and it's one of the best rated and highest performing academies in the entire country of Spain. They don't have a pro team. They just have the academy, but this beer company has decided that they want to invest in the soccer culture of their country and created through their profits one of the highest performing academies in the country where kids can come and get high level soccer training at no expense.
So, Jonathan, I get that we talked a lot about the pay to play system here. However, I mean, capitalism is capitalism for all of the sports.
Correct.
And there's pay to play in travel baseball and in hockey. I'm sure basketball, football might be a little bit different depending on how big, high school and college play a role. But why does this issue with capitalism hit soccer so much harder than the other sports? Because it's affecting the other sports, but not to the point where the United States can't be competitive on a global stage.
Because first off, we had a head start in most of the other sports. We care more about baseball and basketball and especially American football than other countries do. So we had the head start there so that we had the advantage from the get-go. But what you have seen in almost all of American football is its own thing, so we won't even talk about that. But when it comes to basketball, when it comes to baseball, these same style of academies are popping up across Europe, across Asia. Baseball, it's across Venezuela and Puerto Rico and those things, to where kids are getting high-level professional training for next to no money. And if you look at the landscape of the NBA, if you look at the landscape of Major League Baseball, it's becoming more and more of a worldwide league because the kids from other countries are getting that training regardless of what their parents can pay for.
Like Europe is catching up in basketball, for instance.
Yeah. And in baseball,
in baseball, it's Venezuela, it's Puerto
right.
Rico. And what we have seen is Major League Baseball, coincidentally, has been building these free academy systems to evaluate talent so the idea behind this, and I actually think it's a capitalistic idea, the professional leagues look at it as an investment into the future of their league, that if we can train up the next generation of talent, then our professional league will be even better, which is why MLS academies are starting to get better and better in the US. But our country is so spread out that for me, I'm in North Carolina, the closest MLS academy is 90 minutes away from me. So even if my kids were good enough, we'd have to pack up our entire lives just to have a chance to get into the academy. Whereas in Europe and in Venezuela and Puerto Rico for baseball, these academies are baked into the culture where a friend of mine, I emailed this to your producer yesterday, a friend of mine's from England. He's an ACC soccer coach now, but he emailed the guy who runs the league back in his small town in England. And even they have professionalized coaches at the young ages, and they're only paying the equivalent of $35 a month for that high level. And they're not a large city or a big population center.
So it's $35 a month, but here in the United States to get similar coaching, you're paying over $1,000 at least.
You're paying
right?
minimum $1,500 to $2,000 per year. And once you get to the high level, where around the world, the highest of high level academies, the clubs or the beer company or whoever is financing that, other than MLS Next, which is the MLS academies. If you're playing ECNL or some of the other and even some of the MLS Next programs that aren't attached to a pro team, you're paying $15,000 to $20,000 a year starting at 13 years old to get that professionalized training.
Going through this topic, I feel like the pay-to-play, the expensive system of soccer in the United States is a bigger deal than the relatively low status of soccer in the American zeitgeist. Because say it is behind, football, basketball, baseball, even hockey. As Ranj pointed out yesterday, Belgium has 11 million people.
We have 340
total.
million.
Yeah, it's not
We should
like,
have the numbers, right?
To me, that argument is saying, that like, oh yeah, we have enough people to support 4 major sports, but not 5. That's the breaking point, and that doesn't make sense to me.
Where I go from this is like, let's zoom out. Let's go back to that 10,000 foot view of this.
Mm-hmm.
If I am a parent and I'm looking at my kid's sports, and I know that if my kid starts soccer at 5 years old, that by 8 or 10 years old, we're going to be expected to pay $2,000 a year just for the kid to have a chance to make their middle school or high school team, I'm not incentivized to put my kid in that sport.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that our best players or our best athletes aren't playing soccer, that's a myth to begin with that we can get into if you want. But kids aren't even giving soccer a chance because parents know how expensive it's going to be if they're good. Whereas if they're good at flag football, then the most of the training is going to be in the schools.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be relatively free once they get to middle school, or at least low cost. There might be private training, but to play, it's not the same systemized, like thousands of dollars that it is in soccer. So the incentive to even begin and fall in love with the sport isn't there here in the way, because we know like soccer is one of the most popular sports for elementary age kids, but then kids quit. And part of that is because there's this push to, in the US, it's not even like 13 years old. It's pre-academy at 7, 8, 9 years old, where you're paying thousands of dollars for training because the quote unquote rec leagues aren't good enough. And so why are kids leaving? Because the rec leagues aren't set up to have low cost, high quality programs like it is in the other countries. Again, I go back to what my friend texted me, $35 a month to be coached by someone who is trained and has a professional license that the club paid for. That's different than I'm on the board of my local rec league. We're going to be begging for moms and dads to coach here in another month. And that's who's like in America, our youngest kids are getting coached by the worst coaches. And I love volunteer parent coaches. They're the core of our system, and we can't have our systems without them. But in other countries, they're investing in the young kids to develop that love of the game, to develop the skills early. We're more worried about winning like the little travel trophy rings and winning games. And my local league guys, we had to suspend 4 coaches in U10 soccer because they almost got into a fight in rec league soccer because they all wanted to win so much.
It's so embarrassing.
It's weird.
Ultimately.
So culture-wise, we're so worried about winning these games that don't matter that we're not actually developing the love of the game. And every kid's on a different timeline. To win a game at U10, all you need is the super athletic kid. But the kid who is a little behind athletically now, if they fall in love with the game of soccer and they are taught the fundamentals at 8, 9, 10 years old, then if we can keep them in the game, once they hit puberty, they might grow into their bodies in a way that they could be the next player. But we force them into this hyper competitive system so young and so expensive so young that we don't even get the chance to know, could that kid be good?
It's okay. I'm glad you said that. And I've been referencing Landon Donovan a lot in these discussions because he's been out there.
He's spot on with his stuff.
He's been out there talking about it. And he brought up a story recently about his 8-year-old or 9-year-old who was on this team, one of these teams we're talking about, and they replaced a bunch of kids on the team, smaller kids with bigger kids who are just athletically better. And he had to tell his son that he was being replaced on his team. And his kid's like 8, 9, whatever. And all the kid could say is, well, I just want to play with my friends.
I just want to play. That's my daughter playing soccer.
And it's absolutely
a couple years ago.
Yes.
My daughter was going to quit. She wanted to quit soccer at 8 or 9 years old, because she had a coach who was yelling at them in practice so much because the coach, in her own words, wanted to turn the girls into beasts. And my daughter had a game. This is rec league, by the way. My daughter had a game where she just looked totally disinterested. And so that evening I climbed in bed with her. I was like, hey, kiddo, what happened today? I'm tired of getting yelled at 9 years old. And we started talking. I was like, kiddo, I think you love playing soccer, but I don't think you care about how good you are. I don't. I just want to play soccer with my friends. And we're rushing to competitive so early. The adults are pushing kids to competition so early that the kids who just want to play with their friends, they're getting left behind. I don't know when or if the soccer bug is going to bite my daughter and she's going to want to get good. But I know at my high school right now, there's a girl that didn't fall in love with soccer until 8th grade. And now she's going into her junior year and she's getting recruited to play in college. But we have the benefit of a small town, and like there's some benefits there that she didn't get rushed out too quickly. But as a culture in general, we're telling these young kids, unless you want to go all in like 3rd grade and be the best in 3rd grade, you don't have a place to play. You're not good enough. You're not worth investing in.
Hey, Jonathan, I know like we've got so many questions for you, and we're kind of short on time. This might be too big of a question, but it did happen a couple of weeks ago. There was a bipartisan hearing in Congress about private equity's role in the commercialization of American youth sports. What role is private equity playing in youth sports, and how much it costs?
So I'm going to be self-promotional for a second. If you want more on that, I did a podcast episode. It's called Let the Kids Play with Congressman Chris DeLuzio and Senator Cory Booker about that bill. So if you want to go to the Healthy Sports Parents podcast, you can dive deep into all of it. But what's happening is, and I think that we have to have a distinction. So I'm going to try to blow through this. There's a difference in private equity who wants to strip everything for profit and venture capital who wants to invest for good. And we have a lot of both right now. And what is happening is everything's getting lumped together into just private equity. But if we want to go that route, the bill calls them vulture capitalists. And what they're doing is they're coming in and they're stripping everything away and trying to get everyone into their own ecosystem for profit, to the point that Black Bear Sports is now charging families a subscription service to be able to watch their kids' hockey games. They no longer allow parents to record and live stream their own games to family members because they want people to buy the subscription.
Come on, dude.
So that's an example of something. And so there are good examples of venture capital coming in and investing in facilities and investing in some of these leagues that wouldn't exist without the extra capital. So we don't have time to get into the nuances of that here, but yes, there is a private equity has seen how much parents will pay for these sports. They have seen that you can capitalize off parents' fear and insecurity of not wanting their kids to be left behind and all these, and not wanting to be seen as a bad parent and all these things. So they've come in and like, hey, we've got a new market base of people who will go into debt for this stuff. So let's see how much we can strip out of them. And what it's doing is it's really causing youth sports costs have gone up 46% in the last 5 years.
That's
and
insane.
Those numbers are based off of 2024 number. That's the latest data we had. So from 2024 to 2026, I know it's gotten even more expensive, but just from 19 to 24, it went up 46%. And a lot of it is attributed to these vulture capitalists coming in, wanting to rake parents over the coals and get as much out of it. Whereas if we go back to what we were saying a minute ago, other countries invest in youth sports as a public good to raise kids and teach all the lessons they can learn. Yes, there is a capitalistic financial element to it because the clubs want the next big player. But there's a benefit to all the other kids who can keep playing for lower rates as well.
We appreciate the conversation again, Jonathan. We could talk for another hour on this stuff. It's really interesting, and I'm thinking about Zlatan and Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
After Alexi Lalas said pay to play is great, and these two guys are like, if we grew up in America, we would not have gotten to where we were. And those are two to them because they know what they're talking about, and to Jonathan because he's smart too. Jonathan, thank you for being with us, and we'll talk again about this soon. There's a lot to get into.
Thanks for having me. Anytime you need it.
Jonathan Carone, creator of Healthy Sports Parents. It is a podcast. You can find him on socials. Healthy Sports Parents.
It's good stuff. I got to check out that podcast with Cory Booker about the private equity.
Chris and Amy on KMOX.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Missouri. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
You work hard, follow the rules, and get absolutely slammed by taxes. Your paycheck taxed. Your property taxed. Everything you buy taxed. Missouri's tax system isn't broken, it's rigged against you. The lawyers and lobbyists working for big corporations and the super rich buried over 200 loopholes for themselves in our tax code. While they pay nothing on the services they use, working families are taxed over and over. It's no wonder they're lying about Amendment 5. Our corrupt tax system is rigged in their favor. They're getting a free ride on your back. Don't believe their lies. The truth is, Amendment 5 closes loopholes exploited by the super rich and slashes taxes paid by Missouri's working families, phasing out income taxes and cutting property taxes. They finally pay what they owe while you keep what you earn. Vote yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
A century strong. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Great conversation with Jonathan Carone, the creator of the Healthy Sports Parents podcast. And we would encourage anybody to listen to that interview. When the show is over, our podcast will be available for you to download.
Yeah.
And we're done at 12, then Gas House Gang starts. But, just really great stuff on youth soccer. And what the problems are with it, and there's so much more we could have gotten into. And we made the case about baseball and basketball, and culturally speaking, here in the United States, people just are more interested in those two sports than they are in soccer, even though everybody as a kid plays soccer, it seems like.
One of the top sports, if not the top sport for elementary-aged kids.
Yeah, and so, you asked a question about why, we've been so much better at these other things, even though there's also pay to play, and the same kind of problems exist in baseball and in hockey, for example. Well, let's use the World Baseball Classic as an example here. The rest of the world is catching up to us in baseball. We're still the leader in it, but let me just give this as an example. The World Baseball Classic has been going on for 20 years, and it happens every few years. We have only won it one time. We've only won, and granted, in the beginning, I think there was less interest on the part of the American players because it wasn't the major league season. It wasn't as important to them as winning for the Cardinals or whatever. But it has been countries like Japan and Dominican Republic, and Japan's won 3 times, by the way, and Venezuela, who just won. So, Americans are still really good at baseball, but the rest of the world is catching up because of some of these academies that they can go play in.
Yeah.
So, that's a perfect example of, we had a head start, as Jonathan said, but rest of the world's there too, man. It's not like we dominate like we used to.
And like we said, it's not that in a country of 350 million people, we can support 4 professional leagues, but not 5. That's the breaking point. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Something is happening with soccer. And as Jonathan Crone pointed out, a lot of kids, why would parents get their kids started in soccer or try to be competitive in soccer if they know by the time they're 8 years old, it's going to cost them thousands of dollars minimum to be on a slightly competitive team? That's why so many of us play CYC and then walk away from it.
And in terms of baseball, just in Major League Baseball, almost a third of the sport is Latin American. Almost a third of the players. So they're catching up to us around the world. Amy Marks Corrs, Chris Ranji, we've got a lot to do with you. And like I said, we're always happy you're with us. Right? Say it, Amy.
I'm very happy they're with us.
Right? It's nice. Text the show, call the show, 314-436-7900. Gas House Gang at noon on KMOX.
When Cardinals fans want to talk baseball, they turn to the Gas House Gang. Tom Ackerman, Chris Ranji, Mike Claiborne, and Bernie Miklasz bring insights, analysis, and opinions that fuel the conversation. And every Tuesday, Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol pulls back the curtain on his decisions and his team's performance. The Gas House Gang is the sports show sports fans can't miss. Hear it weekdays at noon on your home for the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
85 degrees, but good news, the real field temperature is 101. Intervals of cloud and sunshine with heavy thunderstorms this afternoon into this evening, and those could bring flooding, downpours, hail, and damaging wind gusts. A high today of 91, the low tonight, 73. Weather sponsored by Huff Heating and Air Conditioning.
For dependable, no-pressure home comfort solutions, turn to Huff Heating and Air Conditioning. Locally owned and family-operated for over 40 years. Our team will work with you on a plan that fits your home's needs with financing available. And as always, your family's comfort is our family's business. Learn more at huffheating.com.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers classes schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Let's take a break.
Good idea.
Hey, Tom, what are you doing on that Amendment 4?
You know, we fought for our freedom and rights. I'm not giving them away without a fight.
4 takes them?
That's exactly what 4 does. For over 100 years, Missouri voters have used our constitutional power to act when the politicians refused. I'll be darned if I'm voting to pass on less freedom and power to my kids.
And doesn't 4 kill majority rule?
Yep, creates minority rule, where just 5% of statewide voters in one district can block any citizen-led reform, making it nearly impossible to pass citizen-led ballot measures.
That's just dumb.
And when the politicians refuse to act, we've used citizen-led ballot measures to pass some big stuff, like lobbyist reforms, term limits for career politicians, and outlawing tax hikes without voter approval.
I'm not surrendering my power and rights to a bunch of politicians and lobbyists. I'm no on Amendment 4.
Hard no on 4.
Pay 4 buttons or inch, prepare governance.
You know, most sellers put their home on the market and they just wait to see what happens. Well, I'm Kevin Wheeler, and I'm here with Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And Gloria, is there a better way to sell?
There is. Instead of listing your home the traditional way and hoping for the right buyer, I can get you up to 8 competitive cash offers right from the start. That means you're not guessing what your home might sell for. You're looking at the real offers and choosing the one that works the best for you. It also helps you to set the right price and create stronger demand if you decide to go to market. It gives you control, leverage, and a clear path forward before you accept just any offer. And remember, I'll guarantee to sell your home at 100% of the market value, or I'll pay you the difference.
Before you sell your home, see what your options are. Call the one that I trust. That's Gloria Liu, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession.
For decades, Morgan & Morgan has represented hundreds of thousands of people at their hour of need. Injuries on the job, car crashes, medical malpractice, and nursing home abuse, Social Security claims, dangerous drugs, and dangerous products. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason, and no firm is even close. Then we got to thinking, what if we could prevent these terrible events before they occurred? So we built the AI-powered People Protector. Simply visit peopleprotector.com and type in the product you have questions about before you buy it. Children's toys and accessories, cars, drugs, products, you name it, we got it. With our success, we decided to pay it forward for all of America. Our way of saying thank you for your trust all these years. Morgan & Morgan, protecting America. And if you've already been injured, just visit us at forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Today, the Cards, the Brewers.
Ameren Total Access 550. First pitch 645.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Every now and then I get a little
Well, this is sad. Bonnie
sad.
Tyler passed away at the age of 75.
I didn't know she was Welsh, but she's Welsh, and obviously had one of the seminal pop anthems of the 1980s with Total Eclipse of the Heart.
She had a couple. Holding Out for a Hero, that's a big one.
Yeah, no, she had so many hits. Man, you know what? I love pop anthems. I love the power and the passion behind them. None of this bubblegum crap we've got now. I bring back the 1980s
You just
power
You just
anthem.
sounded 110.
110 people, though, don't listen to Bonnie
None of
Tyler.
this pop crap.
This is pop. This is pop, but it's pop anthems. I like the power and the passion of the pop.
Okay. Bonnie Tyler.
I
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But it is at 75 years young. It does seem very, very young. And what's funny is the New York Times obviously writing about her in this piece. And Jim Steinman is the one who wrote the power ballad Total Eclipse of the Heart. And Rolling Stone called him, quote, the Lord of Mega Pop Overkill. But I love it.
Do you know the album that he contributed the most to?
No.
Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf.
Really?
All those huge songs that sound like very theatrical, those are all written by him.
I love it.
Does that include I Would Do Anything for Love?
But I won't do that.
If it's on that album, then
It's
yes.
not. That's not Bat Out of Hell. That's the next one.
Bat Out of Hell 2.
No, what is
What
it?
would he-
Come on, Frank, you would know.
What would he
Well, we can
not
look it up.
do? I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. What is the that?
Paradise by the Dashboard. Oh, that? No, you don't want to know, Amy.
Oh, really? Is it bad?
We don't know. We think so.
Really?
We think so.
It's from Bat Out of Hell 2. I knew it. I was
Yeah,
kidding
he
and I
was right. Don't doubt Matt when it comes to music. Music, is Matt's
I forgot that he
milieu.
named it Bat Out of Hell 2. I thought it was something else.
So wait, you guys really don't know what that is when I would do anything for love, but I won't do
Amy,
that?
it's a thing that you probably don't want to know.
Okay.
Actually, don't know myself.
I've heard it's a thing.
Well, don't say it. This is a
I
family
can't
show.
say it. It's not a family show, but I can't say it.
It's not a family show.
It's for...
It's KMOX.
This show's not for children.
It's KMOXXX.
Dude, we can make a whole lot of money by starting KMOXXX.
I
KMO
would
Triple
recruit
X.
Debbie Monterey. I've always said...
Come on, hold on. We're not...
No, I mean...
we have to get a whole new cast of talent.
Debbie is amazing because she's America's sweetheart on air, and then she could have a satellite show where she just like lays it out like
can
it
I
is.
tell you something? You have to stop calling her America's sweetheart. Because I don't think anybody knows her outside of St. Louis. Do you know where we are? People know us in St. Louis. They
No.
don't know us anywhere else.
They know KMOX.
Well, yeah, they know KMOX. Just because it's a name brand.
Well, at any rate, Bonnie Tyler, the great pop anthem singer, and I will say this: I have really, really rediscovered, and I rediscovered's not even the right word because I didn't stop listening to them, but you know how you go in. You kind of like binge listen to different things, and you kind of go through spurts where like all of a sudden you're listening to a lot of this type of rock or this type of music. I've been in an 80s and 90s music kick for pretty heavily a month now, and my whole trip, and I drove to Colorado, and then I drove around Colorado, which sometimes it takes an hour and a half to get to a trailhead, and I drove home from Colorado listening to so much, like Peter Cetera.
Yeah.
Peter
Do you like
Gabriel.
anything new?
Phil Collins.
Do you like anything?
Michael Bolton.
Give me something in the last 5 years you like.
Well, wait, 5 years, it goes back to 2021. I like Mount Joy. I listen to a lot of Mount Joy. I think the album I've listened to is before 2020.
You love the Hey Ho bands.
No, not Hey Ho.
Yeah, you do.
I don't like bands that think they're cute.
Stomp and Holler.
And nobody
Yeah,
thinks
the
they're
Stomp
as
and
cute
Holler.
as the Lumineers.
Hey.
Oh.
You love that.
Ugh. No, but Michael Bolton. I had to turn off some Celine Dion songs because I was so emotionally torn up listening to them.
What are you talking about?
It's all coming back to me now. Have you ever listened to the lyrics of that song?
No.
Yeah, but what are you talking
Touch me like this. I just so emotional, and it's so sad.
Have you, this is a serious question. Have you ever gone to a therapist?
Thinking about it.
Dude, you might need to. You're a nice lady. You know, you
Can
have a good
someone
heart. You need to
please-
go to a therapist.
No, I need someone to text in 314-436-7900 and tell me, don't you think Celine Dion love power ballads are really moving? You know what? There's someone in
Not
this
to
room.
make you cry in a
yes,
car.
There's someone in this
No.
room. How Am I Supposed to Live Without You by Michael Bolton.
That's a great
Yes
song,
or
yeah.
no doesn't make you cry.
Gosh.
You could cry.
I could. I mean, he's got a great voice, but I don't cry at it.
But you just said you could cry at that one.
I could, but I choose not to. If I allowed myself to, maybe I could potentially
Which
cry.
song?
How Am I Supposed to Live Without You?
by Michael Bolton.
That makes you want to cry?
Yeah.
I said maybe I could if I'm like breaking up with somebody.
Maybe I could.
Yeah.
I could be talked into it.
I could be talked into.
What
Maybe
if-
you need to go to
What
therapist
if
too.
Matt and I, we have a glass of bourbon, we sit to all the saddest power ballads from Michael Bolton and Celine Dion, we would be sobbing.
I'd be sobbing.
I'm a safe place for you to cry, I think.
Speaking of that, we were talking in the office earlier about hobbies that you develop, and apparently Pajeski's is alcoholism. He's developing a new hobby the older he gets, which is not, I'm not going to yuck your yum.
Thank you.
Because you flirt.
You're with me.
You dabble.
Yeah, I dabble in the sauce.
Yeah.
But
I do too.
So that's a hobby that you have gotten into bourbon now.
Well, yeah. And
as you've gotten older.
Yes. And you guys know I've already taken 2 trips to Louisville on the Bourbon Trail and have called into the show. And
He goes to the Bourbon Trail like Amy goes to Colorado.
Yeah.
So true.
But
He hikes through the sauce.
Yeah. I'm getting into bourbon because my dad is getting into bourbon, and he's only gotten into it in the past 2 years as a 63, 64-year-old guy. So that made me think, like, what hobby would I develop when I become close to retiring? Because that's a hobby that I wouldn't really picture myself getting into now.
But you're into it now.
But I am. I like learning about it and trying new bourbon and, comparing the different bottles and things like that. But like if I'm retired and if work is no longer part of my daily life, what hobby am I going to pick up? Am I going to pick up bird watching or something boring or
bird watching?
That's
not that. Hey, get yourself a couple of bird feeders out the back and sit on your patio and watch the birds come and eat.
That's casual birding to what to what birders do. I mean, they're waking up at 5 a.m. They're driving halfway across the country.
Yeah, they're going to landfills.
Yeah.
And bringing back diseases to everybody.
See?
What was the disease that one guy got?
Hantavirus.
Yeah, that's right. He introduced it into the population because he wanted to go look at some dumb, rare bird.
But, okay.
At a dump.
But right now, bourbon is your hobby. And you really have gone to the Bourbon Trail and you know a lot about bourbons.
I don't know a whole lot, but I like to drink a lot.
And your friends have picked up bourbon because is it all inclusive? Your dad's club?
Oh yeah. So my dad is super into it, and when we go to Louisville together, he brings these empty cardboard boxes so he can then fill them full of bourbon. He brings back 15 bottles or so, and then I bring my buddies over to my parents' house, and my dad likes to line up the bourbon and tell stories about each one. Now this one's good because of this, and this one's a little smoother. My buddies come over because they're getting free booze out of my dad. But my dad likes sharing it with people. I think part of the joy is that part of the joy in that is sharing it with people, sharing it with friends and talking about the stories of the bourbon. It's just a great time.
I think Matt said that he got hammered last night.
No.
Last night you did?
No, not hammered.
No.
You got a little.
You have work today, man. You can't be getting drunk.
Hey, I was here on time and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this
He
morning.
was.
Amy's been hiking recently? That's your new hobby?
So people may think like, well, Amy, you've been hiking the whole time we knew you. We've known you. I get that, but this is I actually forget because hiking and the mountains have become my whole personality to the point that, I want to move to the mountains. That's my goal. Anytime I can get to the mountains, hiking all over the world. I love it so much. I didn't go on my first hike until 2019. I didn't grow up hiking.
No.
I didn't even hike in Missouri. I never camped. I never slept in a tent. I never slept in a camper. The closest we ever got is in southern Missouri. We would stay at this place that had cabins that had electricity, no TV, but they had electricity. And so I remember in 2019, it was Noah who said, "Do you want to go on a hiking trip?" I'm like, I don't know. I've never been hiking, and isn't it kind of boring? Like, what do you do while you're just walking?
How could that be any more boring than running?
Because running's over sooner. If you're hiking, it could be 7-8 hours.
That's true.
That you're
but
out
also,
there and you're walking.
And the scenery is good, though.
The scenery is good.
You're walking, but you're having to navigate. It's not like just a straight, flat path that you're running on. I mean, you're having to navigate some stuff, rocks and...
Yeah, we call that the trail tax, which is like the flat part through the woods. We call it the trail tax before you get to the real climbing and the scrambling and all of that. But... to me, like I forgot that I know 2019 is now 7 years ago, but it doesn't feel that long because of COVID. And so I was in my mid to late 30s by the time I discovered that, wow, I love this so much, and it feels like such a big part of my personality. I can't remember me before I hiked, and it wasn't that long ago.
So, Matt Pajeski, for you, a texter has sent in a link to a thing that I'd never heard about called the Missouri Spirits Expedition.
Oh, yeah.
Are you familiar with this?
It sounds cool.
Yeah, so it looks like they follow the path, maybe not exactly, but it is inspired by Lewis and Clark. And you go to different distilleries around the state of Missouri. So you could experience this in Missouri. You don't have to go down to Kentucky anymore.
I'd like to do that, but honestly, not to crap on Missouri. But
go ahead.
But there's a legal, like, technical definition of bourbon. Some people say it has to come from Kentucky. I think people can circumvent that nowadays. But
yeah,
there's like Missouri whiskey or Missouri bourbon, but it's just not the same as Kentucky bourbon.
For some reason, Missouri whiskey, I picture a bathtub.
Yeah, like
that's
moonshine or something like that.
Yes.
And there is good stuff, and we've got like great distilleries in Herman. And our guy with the air show, he's got his own distillery too.
Oh yeah,
like, that's all good stuff. But like, man, the heart of, or like the bourbon capital in Bardstown, Kentucky, and Louisville. I mean, that's the best stuff.
But think about this: the Missouri Spirits Expedition. It again inspired by Lewis and Clark. It covers the entire state, over 30 different craft distilleries. I think that'd be really
cool.
Interesting because you're getting to experience, and we should have somebody on from this.
What if the Chris and Amy show went on?
The Bourbon Expedition?
Yeah, the show. We went on the road. We took the show on the road.
I don't think they would allow us.
I think they would.
I don't think the station would allow us.
You said a texter had sent in a link. I thought it was going to be to like Alcoholics Anonymous or something like that.
Well, that's the other link.
We do have an 801 listening to a lot of Fleetwood Mac. Brian in Salt Lake. P.S. Keep it an XXX show.
I'm down. I am down, baby.
KMOXXX.
And there are plenty of distilleries where you can start here in the St. Louis area.
Yeah.
There are a number of them that you can go to and then work your way west.
I think we're going to put this on the list for our next meeting with Steve.
Let's do that. As we have been talking soccer, man, for the entire week, there's been a lot going on regarding soccer, the biggest stage in the world. And unfortunately, the U.S. is out, but there are still some great matches left to happen, and FanDuel is changing the game. All right, so let's say you have put a bet down on a player. You picked a guy to score, and halfway through the second half, the guy gets subbed out of the game, and you haven't hit yet. Well, that stinks, but FanDuel decided, let's not do it that way. Let's introduce FanDuel's Super Sub. So what that means is, as the game goes on, if your player gets subbed out of the game, the guy who comes in to replace that player, your bet transfers over to him. So you get to stay in on the action, even if your original player has subbed out. It's really cool, right? Well, FanDuel.com/Missouri to take advantage of this pretty great deal. FanDuel.com/Missouri. FanDuel is an app that I've been telling you about for a long time, and if you win, you get paid out instantly. That you can't beat either. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome to Willie's Wings, home of the secret sauce.
I'll take a dozen wings. Oh, by the way, I love that sauce. What's in it?
Can't tell you.
Why not?
It's a secret.
While many financial advisors claim to have the secret sauce, they don't. In fact, if their sauce is so good, why are they keeping it a secret? Steve All of the All Financial Group doesn't keep anything a secret. He knows there's much more to retirement planning than stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. He'll develop a strategy designed specifically for you. It's your own secret sauce for retirement. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824 for your personal portfolio x-ray. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Fine, you want to know what's in the sauce?
Absolutely.
Tablespoon of paprika.
Really?
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circa Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. For everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circa Sports app, then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circa Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Milo's Money Days are here, and we're making it rain for rewards members. For the first time ever, when you make a purchase of $200 or more through July 12th, you'll get up to $30 back in extra Milo's money. Not a member yet? Join for free today, because members get more at Lowe's. Milo's Money Award varies based on status. Members in Gold get 30, Silver get 20, and Bronze get 10. Milo's Money valid for 30 days. Restrictions and more terms at Lowe's.com/Milo's Money Days.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Yeah, I feel like a little bit of a bandwagon jumper. Yeah, I guess that's what I am. Because I've decided I like Erling Haaland and Norway.
Bandwagon jumper sounds like you're off the bandwagon, like you jumped off.
I am a
bandwagoner.
I'm a new bandwagoner. And you know what? I don't care because I like the guy and I know everybody else likes the guy, but it's fine. I think it's okay to sometimes enjoy something that everybody else likes. And I like him even better now. Stop with the sneezing.
Sorry.
The people in this room, we need to get we need to sweep this room for dust mites because you people sneeze more than any group of people I have ever seen in my entire life.
Sorry.
I've been at the doctor's office and there's less sneezing. So someone's always having a fit in here. What is wrong with you people?
Anyway, Erling Haaland.
And you know what he did that makes me like him even more? First of all, he's not having sneezing fits.
Okay.
And the other thing is he turned down Jimmy Fallon. They wanted to have him on the show before the game against England on Saturday, and he said, no, I'm not going to do it. And I hope he says no forever.
Well,
Jimmy Fallon does not do it for me in any way possible.
Well, I think probably my guess is the reason he said no is because they're still in the tournament. I think if you win the World Cup, you do the circuit.
Yeah.
He'll do the circuit, I bet.
Yeah, I would just like to think that he'll perpetually say no. So I don't want to be forced to have to watch a Jimmy Fallon interview. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
And also, you should do this. I cannot describe it to you. I can, but I don't want to ruin the surprise, so I'm not going to. I want everybody to Google Erling Haaland.
Okay.
So just Google him and see what happens. Just wait a second or two, see what happens. It's the best thing ever, and I don't want to ruin it for you, so it's just my suggestion. Go to Google, type in Erling Haaland.
I see it.
And you see a cool little thing, right? Little animation.
Yep. ERLING, Erling Haaland, HAALAND.
Yeah.
Erling Haaland. Hey, I got to give a shout out to Jacob because he says a little late, but Amy and me have the same music taste. I still think the Cetera Grant duet, Next Time I Fall in Love, was the best ever. And he's right. Peter Cetera, Amy Grant. Next Time I Fall in Love, one of the greatest songs ever written.
Okay. Really? Like when you say greatest songs ever written,
I haven't thought
like how many greatest are there? 100?
Probably 300 maybe.
Okay.
kind of what I'm feeling that day.
All right.
Because also I like the Barbara Rubarbara song.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
We have to go.
Maybe we'll play it tomorrow.
We have to go.
Friday.
Okay, fine.
We won't.
We won't.
Tomorrow is Thursday.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
This doofus.
What a great surprise.
Actually, tomorrow's Thursday.
He literally sneezed his brains out. He doesn't know what day it is. Yeah, tomorrow we're back at 9 o'clock with Hancock and Kelly. But anything you missed on the Odyssey app, KMOX.com, and you can listen to our podcast. Please do that. Talk to you tomorrow at 9. The Gas House Gang is next. And like I said, we're always happy you're with us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Say it, Amy.
I'm very happy they're with us.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Audi and